BGMC. The biblical truth lives here.
The ancient Hebrew scriptures foretold of the Anointed One, Yeshua HaMashiach. The Messiah Yeshua came to call the people back to the truth of His word and to follow that righteous path. Yeshua then called Jewish men to be His disciples, and after His death and resurrection, those Jewish men told the world about the Jewish Messiah. Now, after 2,000 years, Beth Goyim Messianic congregation has that same calling of those Jewish men, telling all people, both Jew and Gentile, about the proper ancient path, teaching the Route 66 King's Highway from Genesis through to Revelation, and how you need and can get back to the proper roots of the faith and a closer walk with God. Now, let's hear the message.
Let's go get a blessing. If you're on the slides, we're on slide number 50.
Vamos a comenzar en la página 50.
Let's go to Matthew 5. Matthew 5.
Vamos a Mateo capítulo 5.
Well, this is part number 46
Esta es la parte número 46
of the study of the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5.
del estudio del Evangelio de Mateo capítulo 5.
Okay, we're Matthew 5, verse 11.
Mateo capítulo 5 versículo 11.
Matthew 5, verse 11.
Mateo capítulo 5 versículo 11.
Slide number 50.
Página 50.
How blessed you are when people insult you and persecute you and tell all kinds of vicious lies about you because you follow me. Okay, we've gone over for the last couple of weeks, blessed and insult last, I don't know, when was it? 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago. Nosotros hemos ya estudiado la palabra bendecido y insultado.
One of the things that you got to remember about what we're reading in Matthew 5
Una de las cosas que tenemos que acordarnos en leer Mateo capítulo 5
is this is Yeshua that's talking, the Messiah.
es que es Yeshua el que está hablando, el
He's
Mesías.
talking to the Jewish people
Él está hablando al pueblo judío,
living in a Hellenistic society.
viviendo en una sociedad helenística.
Now let's refresh our memories what a Hellenistic society
Vamos
is.
a refrescar nuestras memorias en lo que es una sociedad helenística.
You're living in it.
Estás viviendo en él.
As a Hellenistic society is a society with lots of different gods.
Una sociedad helenística es una sociedad con muchos dioses distintos.
Okay, so and even the Jews, the Hebrews had many different gods.
Hasta los hebreos tuvieron muchos dioses ajenos.
Because this is the beginning of Messiah's ministry in Matthew 5.
Porque esto es el comienzo del ministerio de nuestro Mesías.
Now, from the book
Mateo
of-
capítulo 5.
From the book of Malachi until Matthew, there's a 400-year period. It's called the dead period.
Del libro de Malaquías al libro de Mateo hay un periodo muerto de
Dead period.
500,
Dead period or
500 años?
the dark period.
500 years?
400.
De 400 años.
So between Matthew and Malachi, there's 400 years.
Entre Malaquías y Mateo son 400 años.
Israel was under 6 different governments, nations.
Israel estuvo bajo 6 diferentes gobiernos, naciones.
And then each time they were conquered, they became less and less Jewish.
Y cada vez que fueron conquistados, vinieron a ser menos y menos judíos.
So then the Father sent His Son, Yeshua the Messiah,
So, el Padre envía a su Hijo, Yeshua el Mesías,
not to start another religion,
no para comenzar otra religión,
but to call the people back to their Hebrew understanding.
pero llamar a la gente que regresen a su entendimiento hebreo original.
So when Yeshua is talking here,
Cuando Yeshua está hablando aquí,
as we've studied through the other 46 weeks,
como hemos estudiado las últimas 46
blessed
semanas,
means that you're following Torah.
bendecido significa que está siguiendo Torah.
Beth Goyim is 100% legalistic.
Beth Goyim es 100% legalista.
Wait, I gotta give my smile. 100% legalistic.
100% legalista.
Because God never changes.
Porque Dios nunca cambia.
If he said not to eat the pig,
Si Él dijo que no comas el cerdo,
you don't change it now.
no lo puedes cambiar
Because
ahora.
God doesn't change. Hebrews 13:8 says God is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
Hebreos 13:8 dice que Dios es el mismo ayer, hoy y para siempre.
So when we looked at Psalm 119,
So, cuando miramos a Salmo 119,
blessed mean that you were following Torah.
bendecido quiere decir que estás siguiendo Torah.
Then in verse 11, Matthew 5, verse 11,
Entonces en Mateo 5:11,
Yeshua said, you're blessed when people insult you.
Yeshua dijo que vas a ser bienaventurado cuando la gente te insulta.
Now, why would they be insulting you?
¿Por qué te van a insultar?
Well, it's sort of like our society today.
Casi como nuestra sociedad en el día de hoy.
There was an organization at Georgetown University
Había una organización en Georgetown, en la Universidad de Georgetown,
who was, now Georgetown is the oldest Catholic university in the United States.
Georgetown es la universidad católica más antigua de los Estados Unidos.
And one of the groups on campus was standing for traditional marriage.
Y uno de los grupos en campo, en la universidad, estaba parándose firme por el matrimonio tradicional.
And they were being labeled as a hate group.
Y fueron etiquetados como una organización de odio.
Because they're standing for morals of being married between one man and one woman.
Porque se están parando firmes por los morales de un hombre y una mujer en el
So
matrimonio.
they're being insulted because they stand for biblical truths in this area.
Están siendo insultados porque se están parando firmes por verdades bíblicos en esta área.
Now, Messiah Yeshua is talking in Matthew 5, verse 11,
Ahora, Yeshua el Mesías está hablando aquí en Mateo 5:11,
saying how blessed you are when people insult you and persecute you and tell all kinds of vicious lies about you because you follow me. Now, why would you be insulted for talking about biblical marriage?
¿Por qué vas a ser insultado por hablar sobre el matrimonio bíblico?
Because people were not following a biblical marriage.
Porque la gente no estaban siguiendo un matrimonio bíblico.
Okay? And there were a lot of gods, Roman gods, Greek gods in Israel in the time of Messiah.
Y había muchos dioses romanos y griegos en el tiempo de Mesías en Israel.
Yes, they had the temple, but there were other temples in Israel.
Sí tenían el templo, pero habían otros templos en Israel.
And we see that in the book of Acts.
Y vemos eso en el libro de los Hechos.
Remember when Rav Shaul, Paul, goes to Ephesus.
Acuérdate que cuando el rabino Pablo fue a Efesio
And they were screaming, "Great is Artemis of the Ephesians."
y estaban proclamando grande es
Artemis.
Artemis de los Efesios.
Now, Artemis is a god,
Artemis es un dios,
a god of fertility.
el dios de fertilidad.
So here Yeshua says in Matthew 5:11,
Aquí Yeshua dice en Mateo 5:11,
people insult you.
la gente te van a insultar.
Now, why would they insult you?
¿Por qué te van a insultar?
Well, this comes from, hello, Susan.
Shalom.
Everybody say hello to Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Okay. Okay. So you're being persecuted
Estás siendo perseguido
because you want to go back to the Torah.
porque quieres regresar a la Torá.
Now, this stems from our study earlier.
Esto viene de nuestro estudio más temprano,
Well, when Messiah said, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for
a
righteousness."
donde Yeshua, nuestro Mesías, dice, bienaventurados los que tienen hambre y sed de la justicia.
Well, what is righteousness?
¿Qué es la justicia?
What would righteousness be to Yeshua?
¿Qué será la justicia para Yeshua?
That would be the 613 laws
Eso será los 613 leyes
that we're still to follow today, what applies in your life.
que todavía tenemos que seguir hoy, que aplican en nuestras vidas.
And Yeshua was all about coming back to the commandments,
Y Yeshua,
going back to the ancient path,
estaba regresando a la senda antigua
i.e.
de los
Jeremiah.
por ejemplo, Jeremías.
Okay? So he's saying here, you're going to be insulted.
Él está diciendo aquí que vas a ser insultado.
Now hold your place in Matthew 5, verse 11,
Mantén tu lugar en Mateo 5:11
and turn to Matthew 10, verse 21 and
y
22.
vamos a Mateo 10, versículos 21 y 22.
And for those that are new, if you have any questions, just raise your hand. It's a Bible study. It's very interactive. That's why it's taken us 46 weeks.
We will finish this one day.
Well, what we're going to do for the Bible study and translate
Lo que
this,
vamos a hacer para el estudio bíblico,
once we finish what is called the Beatitudes,
ya cuando terminemos las bienaventuranzas,
we're going to take a break for a month with some other subjects,
vamos a tomar un reposo por un mes y estudiar otros temas
and then come back to Matthew.
y regresar a Mateo.
Like, there are 7 things that God hates.
Hay 7 cosas que Dios odia.
So let's study what those 7 things are.
Vamos a estudiar qué son esas 7 cosas.
Cosas. In last week's parash, Deuteronomy Devarim 7:26, something was called an abomination.
En el parashá de la semana pasada, en Deuteronomio
7:26.
7:26, hay algo que se deja reconocer como una abominación.
So let's study what those are,
Vamos a estudiar
and then
qué
come
son
back to Matthew.
y después regresar a Mateo.
Okay? Matthew 10, verse 21 and 22.
Mateo capítulo 10, versículos 21 y 22.
A brother will betray his brother to death, and a father his child. Children will turn against their parents and have them put to death. Everyone will hate you because of me, but whoever holds out to the end will be preserved from harm. Amen?
Amén.
So this kills the rapture theory,
So esto aquí pone a descansar la teoría del rapto,
because if you hold out to the end, it's not the middle.
porque si perseveras hasta el fin, no es en el medio,
Okay? So
no es a la mitad.
now why in verse 21
¿Por qué en el versículo 21?
would your brother betray his brother?
¿Por qué un hermano va a traicionar otro hermano, a su hermano?
And you get the answer in verse 22.
Y recibes la respuesta en el versículo 22.
Everyone will hate you because of me, but whoever holds out to the end will be preserved from harm.
Amén.
Why would they hate you?
¿Por qué te van a odiar?
For following Messiah?
Por seguir al
If
Mesías.
it's just an idea.
Es simplemente una idea.
Or is it more than that?
O puede ser algo más que
Because
una idea.
Yeshua says, I and the Father are one.
Yeshua dice, yo y el Padre somos uno.
So if you are one with the Father,
Si eres uno con el Padre,
what does that mean?
¿qué significa eso?
That means you're keeping the Sabbath.
Eso significa que estás guardando Shabbat.
So if you're keeping Sunday, that is pagan, it's wrong.
Si estás guardando domingo, eso es pagano y eso está incorrecto.
Just because Messiah rose from the grave doesn't mean we switch to Sabbath on the first day of the week.
Porque el Mesías resucitó el domingo no significa que cambiamos el día de adoración al primer día de la semana.
Well, if it's the 4th commandment,
Si es el cuarto mandamiento,
God doesn't change, correct?
Dios no cambia, ¿verdad que no?
No, he doesn't change. He's the same today, yesterday, and forevermore.
Hebrews 13:8.
He's the same. However, the administration changes. What I
Like-
mean by that is, okay, you said earlier in your discourse that this congregation is legalistic.
Absolutely.
Christ, on numerous occasions, condemned legalism through the Pharisees and the rest of the Sadducees and the scribes. He condemned them continuously for being too legalistic and actually missing the point. Everything that the Savior did, everything that our Lord did, he pointed to himself. Okay, he was always talking about himself. I'm the end of all. Faith in me, faith in me, faith in me. Okay? I told Stacy a couple days ago about the law, okay, how it was given to Israel. Nobody else. It was given to Israel. Through Israel, the world was supposed to come to know the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Through Israel. On numerous occasions, Israel forfeited that position. And this is why they were always ushered into slavery, captivity, if you will, until a certain time when the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob will raise up a type of Savior like a Joshua or Caleb or Samson, okay, to deliver Israel from captivity. All right? Now, the law is perfect because it was given to us by a perfect God. Okay? And the law is God's standard. If we want to have a relationship with Him, this is what we must do. Be perfect.
Matthew 5, verse 48.
Okay? Be perfect for your Father in heaven is perfect. Okay? Be perfect. The law was given to Israel to set Israel apart from the pagans. Everything that pertains to Israel was given to them as a designation of sorts. We're different from everybody else. That's what Israel was supposed to be, different from everybody else. Dietary laws, the ritual laws, everything about Israel was unique. They were a brand new nation. Okay, this is a nation of people that God called to Himself, to reveal Himself to the world through. All right? Now, keeping in line with the legalistic, right? Dietary laws. In the book of Acts, chapter 10,
Peter never eats.
but the words that,
It was a test.
but the word,
How many times was Peter asked?
it was 3 times.
Why was Peter asked 3 times?
Peter was legalistic too.
No,
Sure he was.
I didn't ask that question.
He says, I've never eaten anything common or unclean.
Why did he deny it 3 times?
I don't know. Why did he deny it?
Because Messiah said, do you love me, Kepha? Peter. Now, now, wait.
Right? You're
Wait.
talking after the resurrection.
That's correct.
Okay, I'm talking about when Peter was,
Why was he asked? Why was he? You're not answering my question, sir.
because I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Okay, I'll rephrase it. If Messiah is the same always, never changes, be perfect for your Father in heaven is perfect. Matthew 5, verse 48. Now I want you to go to Matthew 5 and look at verse 17, 18, and 19. What does Yeshua, until heaven and earth pass away?
Exactly what he's saying. He says, think not that I come to destroy the law. I didn't come to destroy it. I came to fulfill it.
You didn't keep reading, as a Christian many times doesn't. Keep reading. Keep reading.
I understand where you're coming from because she said the same thing to me. Heaven and earth will pass away before one dot or tittle
Right.
will pass away from my word.
Right.
Okay. Now,
So,
when
wait. This is my class. I'm going to ask questions. We're going to answer questions. We're going to have a dissertation. We're going to have a conversation. Okay? So Yeshua, the Messiah, says in Matthew 5:18, until heaven and earth pass away. So that means he's not changing anything. He's calling you back to be perfect. Okay? In Acts chapter 5, because you're saying we're done with the law. So in Acts chapter 5, what happens to the 2 people who lie?
they get stoned,
No, they die because God,
the Holy Spirit takes them out.
right, because the law is still here. And in Revelation 20, you're going to be judged on the books. Okay? You're going to be judged on the books. This is John, a Jew, not reading Ephesians, not reading Colossians, not reading the book of Acts. He walked with Mashiach. And Mashiach says in Matthew 5:18, not one jot or tittle will be lost. So you're going to be judged by the Father. You're going to be judged by Yeshua on the standard. Be perfect, for your heavenly Father is perfect. Peter did not eat the food because he's a Jew. And the law is not only for the Jew, it is for the Gentile. Because Israel left Egypt. It was Jews, 600,000 men, along with a mixed multitude of Gentiles. Now, my job as a Jew is to teach you, the Gentiles, what is perfect, so that you can get into the perfect place called heaven, because sin is not allowed. So you're going to be judged, i.e. Revelation 20:12, on the books. Now the books, as every Jew would know, is Torah. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. The law doesn't change because you know Torah, it's in your heart, because you are a child of Adam and Chava, Adam and Eve. Because when they bit the fruit, all knowledge of good and evil came into them, and we are their offspring. You have more pigmentation in your skin because your ancestry comes from Africa, and God loved you so much, he put a little bit more pigmentation into you to protect you from the sun, from hence where your lineage comes from. Okay? To protect. But we're the same. We have 206 bones in our body. We both have one nose, one mouth, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 brain, a 4-chambered heart, and 2 lungs, and a circulatory system and a respiratory system. But the law is for everybody, because Messiah came to show us how to live the law. That's why he says in Matthew 5:18, not one jot or tittle will be missing until heaven and earth pass away. See, this is where the Gentiles miss reading the rest of the passage. See, he starts off in Matthew 5 earlier, hunger and thirst for righteousness. Why? Because we were living in a Hellenistic society, a society of pagans, a society of laws. This is where you're also not understanding. Legalism was, there's something called the Talmud. And it's perfect in his understanding when Yeshua says, the Pharisees come to Yeshua and they say, you don't wash your hands like the elders. In Torah, it doesn't tell us how to wash our hands, but you want to know what they're speaking about? In Talmud, in the Babylonian Talmud, this is how you wash your hands. You take your left foot, put it over your right knee, put your right hand over your left foot, take the pitcher of water with the ashes of the red heifer in the water, pouring it over your right hand and your left foot. That's what they're talking about. They had put in, and I have the Talmud in the back of the sanctuary, because they're historical books. Now, it all depends which Talmud you're following. Most likely, they were following Babylonian Talmud because you find that understanding of water there. So Yeshua wasn't saying, go away from the law. He was saying, come back to what is perfect, because he says it in Matthew 5, verse 48. Be perfect, for your heavenly Father is perfect. So if you want to do Sunday worship, well, hence, let's study where Sunday worship comes from. Because Messiah rose from the grave on the first day of the week. He's a Jew, and all Jews go back to work on the first day of the week. Okay? So he was in hell for 3 days. He had his trial. He proved everything that he did, and many 400 things that he did, fulfilling, or 394 or 6, all depends what you want to do. Okay? So he was in hell for 3 days, comes back, goes back to work because he's a Jew. But there's no Sunday worship. In the book of Acts, they met, not worship, on the first day of the week. Just like myself. I have meetings on the first day of the week. Because God then would change. How would God destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, destroy the world in a flood, and let you Gentiles do whatever you want, whatever is right in your own heart, in your own eyes? No. Mashiach, Nagid, the Messiah, the Prince, says, be perfect, for I am perfect. Follow me. So if he did it, then we do it. Because why? Because he's perfect. I want to be his son. I want to follow my example. That's why he said, come and do what I did. That's why he said, do the Passover in remembrance of me. Don't drink wine and have cookies and wine. Do the Passover. Now, if you don't do the Passover, you're not getting into heaven because you're directly disobeying a direct order from the commander-in-chief. Do the Passover in remembrance of me. But you can't do the Passover and eat of the lamb, which you're supposed to eat, because once God establishes something, he doesn't change. Okay? So if you're uncircumcised, you can't eat of the Passover. Henceforth, you're not getting into heaven, because not one jot or tittle. The Bible is a Jewish book from end to end, and it must be understood with Jewish eyes, not 2,000-year-old Christian Roman glasses. So when he says, blessed are the people who insult you and persecute, why are they persecuting him? Because he's telling them, go back to the Torah. Because Torah is good, because God would never change, but the Jews had changed it, like washing your hand. That's just one example. And then Yeshua says, he was questioned, and he says, what are the greatest law? And he gives you the 2 commandments. And then he says, on this the law is understood by. You need these 2. Love your neighbor as yourself. Okay? How do I love my neighbor? Should I give him cocaine? Should I feel his butt as a homosexual? Should I do cocaine? Should I do pot? No. Should I lie? So if you're not to lie anymore, you're not to steal anymore, you're not to covet, right? So why keep those and not the rest? You can't pick and choose what you wish to do.
I agree totally with you on that, and that brings my question back to the forefront. I mean, keeping the law, all of it, is, I would
No, you don't have to keep all of it. There's 274 laws that pertain only to the temple. So that henceforth, that drops it down from 613 to approximately 400. Okay? Then, you're a gentleman, I can see. Okay? So you don't have to worry about the ones for the ladies. Okay? So hence, you drop down another 100. So now you're down to 300. Then you're not a priest, or maybe, I think you're married. I thought I saw a ring on your hand. Okay, so you would then have to fulfill the ones for a husband. So it isn't all 613 because they don't pertain all to you.
the law is very strict.
Yes, it's good.
Very, very strict. And it was designed that way by, the Almighty Creator. It was designed that way because that's His standard. Okay? If you really want to have a relationship with me, is what He's saying. This is what you have to do. This is the way you need to do it, and you have to do this continuously.
Isn't that good?
Okay? Sure it is, but we get tired, right? We get tired, and with that tiredness, we tend to, well, maybe I won't do this one right now, or maybe I won't do that one right now. Okay? Each and every day of an individual's life who chooses to live according to, as you say, the strict code, okay? That's a heavy burden to bear.
It's a good burden.
If you are able to do that, if each and every man and woman in here is able to do that, then the cross, the crucifixion, is useless.
Why is it useless?
Why did He have to die?
To give you the opportunity. Why did? Okay, great question. Why did? Wait. I want to answer your question.
If we are able to be perfect on our own strength, there was no need for Him to come, and there was no need for Him to die for us, because He didn't die for Himself, because He was perfect. He was perfect. He died for imperfection, us. So if we're able to keep the law, if we're able to be perfect, then His death is of no void. It means nothing.
Well, there's where you're wrong. He came to put the ball back in your court. It's personal, just like it was in the garden. And He died not for you, to the sins of the world. No.
I accept His death.
Well,
I accept it. I believe in it. I accept.
Well, I accept His death also.
His death was for me because I believe that.
But you're not understanding the Hebrew.
He died, was
When-
buried, and rose on the third day. I believe that.
When I agree that He rose on the third day. But when Adam and Eve, left the garden, who did Elohim curse?
Cursed everything.
No, He didn't.
He cursed everything.
He
cursed
said,
man, he cursed
no,
woman, he cursed the
no,
serpent, and he cursed
no.
the earth. The earth became cursed.
He said the earth was cursed. He didn't curse His son. He sinned, and He got kicked out of perfection. But when Messiah's blood, now when He's on the cross, how did the cross go up? It went into the ground about this far. And then they put stones around it to hold it up. They were making an altar because the blood of the perfect lamb had to touch the altar.
Yeah, but
No,
he was crucified
by the Gentiles.
Exactly. They don't know anything about.
No, but God uses tools. just God uses tools. So his blood had to hit the altar. Then in the law, it says the blood of the perfect lamb has to be poured out on the ground. So what Messiah did when he came, and he says to Nicodemus in John 3, verses 1 through 21, you have to be born again. It's a personal relationship, as Jehovah the Father always wanted with his children. So you are in charge of your heart. Proverbs 16, verse 1. Messiah says in Matthew 5, verse 48, be perfect, for your heavenly Father is perfect. 5:48. 5:48. Okay. So, be perfect, for your heavenly Father is perfect. He would not give us something that we could not do. That's sort of like holding a carrot in front of a horse. So, he gives you the opportunity to do the things that you are required to do.
Okay. Can I read this to you?
Sure.
This is Colossians,
Colossians, a Jewish book written to a Messianic congregation.
chapter 2, verse 13. It says, "In you, being dead in your sins."
What is sin?
It all depends. You have mental attitude sins. You have verbal sins. You have sin is just unrighteousness altogether.
Where would I find where would I find the definition of sin, sir? Since the Ephesians are not reading the book of Colossians, where would I, a Jew, since this is Rav Shaul, Paul the emissary, a trained rabbi by Gamaliel, is writing this letter to a baby Messianic congregation, what are they reading, sir?
They're reading Revelation.
No, they're not, because it's not written yet.
They're-
It's not written yet.
Paul wrote letters to the churches.
To the Messianic congregations, yes.
He wrote letters to them, and Paul, he speaks about in the book of Galatians how he went to Arabia for 3 years.
Damascus.
Arabia.
No, Damascus.
When he,
In the Greek, it says Damascus.
this is after his meeting, his initial meeting on the road to Damascus when he was.
Right, and he goes there for 3 years.
Okay, so he went to Arabia for 3 years and received teaching directly from the Almighty himself.
And where do we find this?
It's in the book of Galatians.
And once again, sir, I ask you, since you're reading Colossians, what would the Colossians be reading if they're not reading Galatians? And since Galatians is a singular letter, we don't have a Xerox machine,
Okay.
and Revelation is not written. What?
I get your question, right? And the answer to your question is they were reading what I term the Old Testament. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus,
The Torah,
Numbers,
the law.
okay? And some of the other prophets, the minor prophets, your book of Daniel and things of that nature. All that was the scriptures, if you will, for the building of this new church, if you will. Okay? However, when Paul was writing to the church of Colossae, the church of Galatians, the church of Ephesians, when he was writing to these churches, right? Paul was writing to them, and what he was doing was defining the Old Testament. He was defining it. He was telling them, okay, this is what was said. And Jesus said it himself. He said, you have heard where it says that you should not lust, but I tell you this, if you look upon a woman with lust in your heart, you are guilty of fornication, adultery, whatever.
Why did he say? Why did Messiah say that?
He had to let you know that you're not perfect.
No. What's the
Because-
10th commandment?
because-
What's the 10th commandment, sir? Because you're missing your point.
I'm not missing my point.
In Exodus 20, the 10th commandment is what? Covet. If I'm looking at a woman's brassiere, or her bosom, or her gluteus maximus, then I'm coveting her. Now, since my ring has been on my finger for 30 years, I can only look at my wife's bosoms and her gluteus maximus because I own it. So Yeshua is saying, because he's calling you back to Torah, because once you've broken one, you've broken them all, because it's a heart issue. That's why you need a circumcised heart. So you're going to Colossians, but we're not speaking the same language, because I'm asking you what would be the definition of sin that we could agree on, and that would be 6:13. So Rav Shaul, Paul the emissary, is writing to the congregation, the Messianic congregation at Colossensia. Okay? He's writing to a Messianic congregation, and he's telling them about sin.
Okay, let me finish this. It says, all right,
You're in what?
let's go to, still in Colossians, verse 14, it says, blotting out the handwriting of ordinances that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to his cross. Meaning, as Christ said in the book of Matthew chapter 5, where he says, do you think I came to destroy the law? No, I came to fulfill it.
But you didn't keep reading.
Because I want to explain something. I will keep reading. I mean, there's everything that is written in here. I don't just take a bit of it and just expound on that. I believe everything that is written here. But for the sake of what we're talking about, there has to be a pause so I can explain what I'm trying to say to you, my point. If you want me to continue to read, I'll be more than happy.
Right, because you're stopping your reading in the middle of a thought.
But that what I stopped at.
Because you're saying he's fulfilling it, but he goes on,
He already did it.
No, he didn't.
He nailed it to his cross. He took it out of the way. These ordinances were against us.
So,
they were contrary to us.
let me ask you a question. Can I be gay?
You can be whatever you want to be.
Am I going to get into heaven if I'm gay?
Is it right for you to do that? No.
Okay, it's not right.
Because
Now, where do I find that?
man and woman.
Where do I find that?
Where do you find what?
Where do I find I can't be gay and get into heaven? Oh, that would be...
It's all over the scriptures. It's not only in the Old Testament, it's in the New Testament as well. Because as you say in this point, as you say, he doesn't change.
So he changes in certain things?
No, there is no changing in the Almighty. The administration changes.
But then I can be gay.
Because of, if you want to be, you can be whatever you want.
But God says in Revelation 22:15,
Okay, so are you going to believe God? Or are you going to do whatever you feel is right? If you feel that you want to be gay, you can do that. The Almighty gave us free will. Is it right according to the Almighty? No, it's not.
Right, because
But according to society, yeah, sure. Let's
right, well, that's what I'm... That's-
they're right
You
to
can't
whatever.
cherry pick what you want to pick.
Right, that's what I'm trying to...
That's
That,
exactly what I'm saying.
sir, that's what I'm...
That's exactly what I'm saying. But I'm trying to tell you, what I'm trying to tell you is, the scripture tells me, I don't know if you guys believe it or not, but the scripture tells me that Christ fulfilled the law. He fulfilled it. So my perfection is in him. My faith alone in Christ alone makes me perfect.
It
If-
sounds like
if-
you're going under the grace.
if wait, one second. I'll handle it. I'll handle it. I'll handle it.
You don't believe grace?
No. Grace means that he had every right to kill you today.
That's his mercy.
That's called chesed in Hebrew.
Grace we got. The grace that
To do what? Grace,
the grace that we have.
grace to do what,
was
sir?
the gift of God.
Grace
It
to
was
do-
by grace that you were saved through faith.
Through
Not
faith.
itself. It
to-
is the gift of God, not of works.
But
That's any man's
wait,
boast.
let me ask you a question. Grace to do what? To do, to, how am I supposed to live?
Live according to how you want to live. If you want to
Wait, pause. Wait. Let's have a good conversation. Let's have a good conversation. A respectful, good conversation of different opinions. If I want to get into heaven, shouldn't I live the way God, the Father, the Son, and the Ruach HaKodesh?
If you can, if you're able to.
Shouldn't you, shouldn't you try your best? Shouldn't you?
your best isn't good enough for him.
But Messiah said in Matthew 5, verse 48, do your best.
Where did he say that at?
Matthew 5, verse 48.
5:48?
Yes, sir. Matthew 5, verse 48. What does it say in your Bible?
It says, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
Now, would
He's
Miss
not saying
would
try your best. It's
Right.
telling you this is what you need to do. You need to be perfect.
right? Yes. So, what we're trying to get to is if God gives us perfection, and perfection is His law, and His Son followed the law. The Father gave us His Son, which was perfect, and He says, "Follow my Son." Yeshua said, "Follow me." Okay? So our job is to try to do our best, not our least. So if Messiah says in the beginning of that chapter, don't hunger and thirst for righteousness, well, how would we know what righteousness is? That would be the Torah. Hunger and thirst for righteousness. So that's why I did a Paulian argument with you. The Paulian argument is always take an outlandish type of thing. Should I have sex with my mother, sir? No. The world would say no. Should I have sex with an animal? The world would say, well, that's what makes you happy. Or, we have teachers in schools having sex with their students. We have homosexuality being taught in our school system. Is this against the law? Would you be able to get into heaven if you had sex with an animal? No. Would you be able to get into heaven if you had sex with your mother? No. Would you be able to lie, cheat, steal? No. And this is all in Revelation 22, verse 15. The object of the law is to show you what sin is so you stay away from it. And you have to try your best, sir, to follow Messiah's example. Mercy and grace means He has every right to destroy you because He is righteous, just like He destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And they were under grace also. Just like He flooded the world, and they were under grace too, because the law had not been given, as you say. So if we have those examples, sir, we're heading down a very bad road. So legalism is a beautiful thing.
No, it's not.
It is a beautiful thing.
The Lord constantly condemned it.
He did not, because you
In the book of Matthew, in the book of John, all the Gospels,
he does not.
he's constantly battling against the Pharisees.
No, he's battling against Talmud. See, this is where you don't understand.
Were the religious leaders of Israel of that time. These Pharisees, Sadducees, and
I gave you an example of what they were talking about with the washing. You don't wash your hands like the elders.
Well, Christ didn't wash his hands neither.
It
That's why
doesn't.
he condemned them.
No,
He says,
it says like the elders. It was a tradition.
tradition. Thank you. Traditions took the place of the law. Why? Because these individuals understood that no man can do this. So what we're going to do, we're going to make it easy for us to fulfill the law as we are able to fulfill it. So they changed the law, right, for tradition.
Right, and
And that was one of the things that-
tradition is bad. The law is not bad. Tradition.
I agree with you on that. The law is
Right, so we're to keep kosher because that's not tradition, that's God-given.
okay. If that's the case, then we have to contend with 1 Timothy chapter 4.
1 Timothy 4, and then we're going to come back to our study.
1 Timothy chapter 4, and I call it 3b, where it says, forbidden to abstain, telling you to abstain from meats that the Lord has created. And everything.
No, it says food.
Meats.
No, food is different. If I gave you, I used to have a dog, and the dog used to poop a lot. If I gave you on a dish with some lettuce and onions and tomatoes, a little bit of pate from my dog's butt, would you consider that food?
No.
Oh, now,
Scripture says meats.
it's food in the Greek. Okay, so,
It says meats.
okay, so what verse is that? And we'll go to the Greek.
This is chapter 4, verse 3.
Verse 3.
Forbidden to marry, commanded to abstain from meats.
What is food?
God hath created to be received with thanksgiving.
All right, so let's go to the Greek because you're reading the King Jimmy, and King Jimmy is not a really great translation. Okay, so let's go to the original Greek. I have the NASB with numbers. Okay, so foods, G1033. I'm not going to try to mutilate the Greek pronunciation. That which it's eaten, food. Now, to a Jew, Timotheus is a proselyte to Messianic Judaism. He's not really a Jew because his father's not a Jew. His mother's a Jew. Okay? So lineagely, he's not a Jew. Okay? He's a convert to Messianic Judaism. He believes in the Mashiach. Now, Rav Shaul, the rabbi, is writing to him to abstain from foods. But before you even got there, you would have to go to verse 1.
Sure.
And in verse 1, let's read verse 1. What does apostatize mean?
Does it?
See, what a lot of Gentiles do is they jump to a verse. You can't, we're not speaking the same language. See, when we translate, Benjamin grew up in Puerto Rico. But some of the Colombians don't think he really speaks Spanish because he's speaking Puerto Rican. Okay? Now, since we do have the Greek of the New Testament, since the Datilin has not come out yet, the original was written in Hebrew. The Matthew Gospel that was found in Spain, and the Datilin was written all in Hebrew. Okay? The original Gospels were written in Hebrew because they were Hebrew. Speaking Aramaic, and that was proven by the sign on top of Yeshua's head. Okay? Yeshua Hanatzat Yehudi. Okay? When you take the first letter of each word, it spells out the ineffable name of the Father, Yod He Vav He, Yehovah. Very simple. So apostatize, and it says in the end of days, Yakari timing, people will apostatize. What are they apostatizing from if we're no longer under the law and we can do whatever our own mind wants to do? So what would apostatize mean to you, sir?
What you're saying, right, is that these people who are going to fall away, if you will, because that's what apostatizing is you're turning your back on what is right and what is true.
What is right?
Okay? Now,
What is right?
according to you, everything stems from the Torah.
That is correct.
Everything stems from the Torah, and the Torah consists of 5 books, right?
That is the
First
basis
5
of life. That is correct.
All right, the Pentateuch.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So according to Jewish belief, everything stems from the first 5 books, the Torah. So I would be considered an apostate, right? Because I don't follow only the 5 books. I don't follow that. All right? I believe in the 5 books, as well as all the rest of the books that follow behind the 5 books. I believe in this whole book.
I believe in
from
66.
beginning to the end.
I believe in 66 also.
I believe it. Okay?
But when we're trying to understand what apostatize means, remember, Rav Shaul is writing to his son, his spiritual son, Timotheus. Timotheus is not reading Colossians. He's not reading Galatians. What would Timotheus be reading? What would he have brought to this congregation?
This is what he's reading. He's reading an epistle that was written by the Apostle Paul to Timothy, who was a young preacher.
Yeah.
Or you call him rabbi or whatever. He was young. He was new to the faith, but
So what-
had confidence in him.
Well, I agree. So what would Timotheus be bringing with him? What would every congregation have? And
The naysayers.
no,
Because apparently, Timothy,
every congregation would have at least one Torah. Okay? So that would be the standard of what the rules would be governing by.
so fine, so that means the epistles, as I said earlier, the epistles that Paul wrote to each and every church that he started, right? He was defining what was written.
But God doesn't contradict himself.
Of course not. But what we need to do in our finite minds, right, with the Almighty, he understands that, okay, as David said it so eloquently, you know, he remembers that we're only flesh. Okay, he knows that we're only flesh. David said that.
Mm-hmm.
So the Almighty knows exactly how much we can take, how much we're able to comprehend. All right. So this is why he's so patient with us. All right. And each and every day, and I'm gonna make this personal. Each and every day of my life. All right. Each and every day I wake up and I read my scriptures. I know a little bit more. Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I take that little bit and I give it to somebody who don't know it. Okay? I come back, I take a little bit more in, and I just keep going and going and going. I've known, and I don't like to use the term, I found God, because he was never lost, I was. So
Agreed.
I met him approximately 15 years ago. Okay? And during that time that I've become acquainted with him, my walk hasn't been a bed of roses. Okay, I've had problems on top of problems, difficulties on top of difficulties, all right? And sometimes, most of the times, I leaned on my own understanding to try to solve the problem and just made it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've come to find that when I rest in Christ, when I give it to him, cast all your cares upon him, for he cares for you. Come unto me, all who are heavy laden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? When I cast all my cares upon him, I'm able to take his yoke, which is easy, and just read, pray, and understand as much as he allows me to understand. And go from
That is good. As I see, you're a man who works out. I'm sure you didn't begin getting those biceps until you worked at it, correct?
physical exercise prophet, a little bit.
Okay. You know, you got pretty good pectorals there, good latissimus, you know, good deltoids, things of that nature. It took a little while to get that, correct?
Yes.
That's the mercy of God.
No doubt. I'm not
So
fighting on that.
what we teach here is be perfect, for your heavenly Father is. It is a Jew's job to show you wonderful Gentiles about my family's book. It's not yours. It was given to us.
Absolutely.
And it is my job to show you that our Father doesn't change. He's your Father too, and He loves you. Now, in the law, when we mess up, God knew that we were going to mess up. And He knows that we're imperfect because we're children of Adam and Chava. And when Adam bit the fruit, and we don't know what fruit he bit, it really broke his father's heart because he listened to somebody else, disrespecting our Father. So he kicked him out of the garden, and one of Adam's friends had to die. Because back then they could talk to the animals, because Adam named all the animals. Great job, fun job. But somebody had to die for our sins, same as going for man, because Adam failed. We needed another perfect man, the second Adam, named Yeshua. And he says, follow me. He says, do as I do. And when the church people totally disregard what Yeshua said, follow me. I never ate a ham sandwich, so why should you? That wouldn't be following him. I celebrated Passover, so you're my son. You should follow it. You should follow what Yeshua did because he's perfect. He's great. He's awesome. He's worthy of following. He is a great example. So when we teach here what he did, we do because we love him. Just like I love my wife. I can't be a husband 99% of the time. So when Yeshua said, not one jot or tittle, he means it. He means,
Pick up your cross and follow me.
right, that means following the narrow road, because in Matthew 7, verse 23, he says to somebody, but Lord, we preached in your name. We healed in your name. We did all these miracles in your name. And Yeshua says to them, get the hell away from me. You worker of lawlessness. So my job is to teach you how to get through that narrow gate. And you know what's on the narrow gate? Because it's a Jewish house. In the New Jerusalem that comes down, there are 12 gates. There's no American gate. There's no British gate. There's no Scottish gate. There's no gate from India. There's 12 gates of the 12 tribes. And every Jew knows that on their gate, there's a certain thing that they put on the gate. It's called a mezuzah. You can, if you have an actual home, you could emblazon it on the door, which would be even more beautiful. It's Deuteronomy 6. Write them on your doorposts. So you're going to need to go through a gate that's small, narrow, 613 inches wide. And on the gate is a mezuzah. And those who don't follow it, Yeshua's going to turn to you and say, I don't know you. But I preached in your name. I gave them that little piece. And I healed in your name. And I healed in the name of Jesus. And what does Yeshua say? I don't know you. I used you as a tool. Just like he used Job to prove to Satan that men can follow God. No matter what happens, we hold on to the seat of God. Because the seat remind us of God's rules so that men don't go and prostitute themselves. That's why we're to wear them all the time, because men are hunters. Men are designed to hunt, whether it be women or not, because God said, be fruitful and multiply. That's what he did when he kicked us out of the garden. Be fruitful. So inside us is to procreate. So God gave us a tool in the Sitziot in Numbers 15, verses 38 through 40. And that's what the woman grabbed. She grabbed the law, and the law healed her. Because what was he doing? What was Yeshua going to do? When the woman of the issue of 12 years, he was going to heal the daughter of Zion, Beit Zion, who was 12 years old. And he said, Talitha kumai, which in Hebrew means little girl, get up. Talitha, little. Kumai, arise. So even the Hebrew made it through into the translation, even into your King Jimmy over there. So Yeshua says, follow me. You can't go wrong with following him. Paul says, don't follow me. Paul says, don't. He says, follow Mashiach, Yeshua. And that's what we teach here. Yeshua sat down the Passover. I'm going to sit down the Passover. Because he did it. He says in the Gospel of John, chapter 8 and chapter 9, and Hoshiana Rabbah, the 8th day of the Feast of Sukkot, all come to me who are hungry and who are thirsty.
What is known as the Last Supper, right?
That's Passover.
He did one thing that I believe, set the trend. I don't want to say trend, that's such a bad word, but he made the transition from what you're talking about to something else, what we call communion. And this is how he did it. He broke bread.
Bread?
He broke bread.
Bread?
Bread.
There's no bread in the house. Matzah. This is where you're failing as a Gentile. It's not changing anything, because when did he go to the cross? What day was it? When did he go to the cross?
I don't get into the schematics like
No, you have to.
No, I don't.
Because this is where you're failing.
No, I don't.
Because he says, do this in memory of me.
Because it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't
Because you're in blatant disobedience.
What matters is what he did.
He,
That's what matters to me.
he said to those Jews, there were no Gentiles at the table, sir. So you're reading it at your...
As far as we know,
No, it was a Talmudim.
it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, because listen, there was Gentiles who converted.
Not yet.
We're not talking about
Yeshua says, Yeshua said, I came for the house of Israel. There's no goys.
But he never turned anybody away. What about the woman at the well?
She's a Jew. She's a Samaritan. Yes. Our father Abraham.
So she wasn't he's my father too.
Not Abraham.
Yes, he is.
No, he's
Yes,
not.
He is, because the scripture says that he's the father of many nations.
He's the father of nations. So you're an Ishmaelite.
Be it as you call me Ishmaelite, call me a Canaanite, it don't matter.
No.
I come.
He made
From
a covenant with Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. So let's come back to the last Pesach, which you're not understanding. First of all, there's no Gentiles there, because Messiah said, I came only for the house of Israel, and how long I wish to gather you under my wings. Okay? So he only came for the house of Israel. So now you must put yourself in a place of a Passover. So now there's no bread because there's no leavening in the house. Okay? Yeshua says to his Jewish disciples, do this in memory of me. Now, why? Because it's already the 15th day of the first month. It's Hag Matzah. And why is that so important? Because, no, he didn't break it. He broke the... No. No. It's part of the Seder. It's part of the Seder. See, this is where you're reading it as a Roman.
his words. No, I'm reading it as a born-again Christian.
Right, a Roman.
I don't know. I don't subscribe to Catholicism.
You are, but because then you must know it's a Passover. And the reason we break matzah at the Pesach is because why? Because God told us to make matzah for 7 days. And God doesn't change.
Sure, that's what he said to them when they came out of Egypt.
No, this is what Yeshua is saying.
Fine. Listen, as I said to you earlier, if you truly believe that you're able to live life according to the law, by all means, more power to you. I'm not going to dissuade you from that. What I'm trying to say to you is it's not necessary.
Oh, it's not.
Because as the scripture says, and you keep overlooking it, or you keep, I don't know, underscoring it or whatever. I don't know what it is that you're doing. Maybe you're not seeing it, where it says that Christ came to fulfill the law. He came to fulfill it. And then in the book of Colossians, it says that he took it, he nailed it to his cross, and took it out of the way.
Okay.
Meaning that it's been fulfilled.
Okay.
So faith alone in Christ alone makes you perfect.
Okay. Now let's take your super. Let's take.
Subscribe to Catholicism.
Wait 1 second. Sir. 1 second. So wait 1 sec. Wait 1 second. I'm gonna put the nail on the cross here. I like fishing. Because we're playing supersession. Now you superseded Messiah's words in Matthew 5. So let's go to the final book of the scriptures, Revelation 22, verse 15. Why don't we all turn to Revelation 22:15? Let's put away supersession. Oh, Revelation 22:15, because every time we supersede Messiah's words with Paul's words, which are good, then we must go to the final book of the Bible, Revelation 22:15. Because this is the final. Revelation 22:15 for the supersession theology. Outside are the homosexuals, those involved with the occult and with drugs, the sexually immoral, murderers, idol worshipers, and everyone who loves and practices falsehood. How would I know, sir, what falsehood is? Well, John is reading Torah because he's not reading Colossians, Galatians, Ephesians.
What about our parents? What about our parents? Because you see, the scripture says that the Gentiles are a law unto themselves. There's something inside of us, each and every one of us.
I want to stay with this.
I'm going
Okay.
So there's something inside of us that lets us know that, okay, this right here is not, it's not cool. It's not good. It's not what we should be involved in. However, when your conscience becomes dead, all right, I don't believe in the theory of having an open mind, because the problem with that is people are often trying to push so much stuff into it. So my mind, I like to keep it guarded, okay? And with society, with everything that's going on in society is saying it's not wrong for you to be homosexual. It's not wrong for you to, drink. Although, might not want to drink too much. Society's even going as far to try to legalize drugs, okay? So it's like, if we can't beat them, join them, all right? When a society becomes corrupt, the judgment of the Almighty is upon that society. Sodom and Gomorrah, the antediluvian, the flood, okay? When the society becomes so corrupt, God has no choice but to act in judgment upon that society. So we are considered the salt of the earth. We live according to the standard that the Almighty has set for us, okay? Now, I know that stealing is wrong. Not
Why?
only is it wrong in society terms, but it's wrong in the eyes of the Almighty.
Where's that?
Okay? It's all over the scriptures. It's all over the scriptures. It's from the old into the new, from the beginning to the end. It's there. Just like you read here, thieves are not going to go to heaven. So if you are a perpetual thief, I'm talking about somebody who don't have any knowledge of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm talking about a person who has no comprehension on what is right and what is wrong.
But wait. Let me pull that apart. Because you just said your mind tells you what's wrong. How does your mind?
Only if it's working properly.
No.
But your conscience becomes
Aren't we all children of Adam and Chava? You just said so, sir, before, that you were a child of Adam and Chava.
I said I come from Adam.
Right. So, right.
We
So
all come from him.
that is correct.
All of us come from
So when Adam bit the fruit, what happened? What?
Spiritually, he died.
Yes, but what went into him?
Sin nature.
The knowledge,
The knowledge of
all knowledge of good news. And you are every person thereafter.
Well,
Every person there. Wait. You
Seth, because Seth was righteous.
wait.
So I feel a lot of Seth.
Well, you're still part of Adam. You just said so yourself.
But Seth was a believer. So
But Seth was still Adam's son, right?
but he was a believer. And what was
Right.
right?
Why?
Because that's
Because he was a son of Adam who knew all knowledge of good and evil. Every human being that has ever lived knows what is good and evil, because we are all children of Adam and Chava. Now, in Revelation 22, verse 15, Yeshua the Messiah is telling John the Jew is telling a Jew, because we're not starting Christianity. Messiah didn't come to start a new religion like Roman Catholicism, which Christianity stems from. Yes, it does. You need to study your history, sir. Luther started it for 1,500 years. 1,500 years, it was Catholicism and Catholicism only. Then from then, Luther broke off, and then from then, 1,200 different denominations of Christianity.
wasn't preaching or teaching what.
Yes, it was. Constantine the Great and Pope Sylvester I in the year 315 or 317, all depends what you're pertaining to. Please get your facts straight. I'm doing a Shapiro on you, okay? So let's come back to what would falsehood be, sir? What would falsehood be? Since they're not everybody. How would I know what falsehood is? In a nutshell. And then we'll come back to our study.
Falsehood is saying what's anything that is right is wrong.
Well, what would I know? What would be right and wrong in God's sight? In God's sight.
We're not talking.
We are talking because it's your soul.
We can't be talking about that because that's individual.
It's your
That's all individual.
it's your soul.
It's me and it's you.
It's your soul that's in Revelation 20, verse 12. Each of us gets a court date. your soul, hence in Proverbs, returns back to the one it gave. You are then going to have a trial. Each and every person who has ever lived is going to have a trial on the same standards. Okay? On the same standards. Because Yeshua, the Messiah, is saying to John here in Revelation 22, verse 15. Okay? So let's go to the Greek. I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. And then I'm going to come back to our Matthew study. We're in Revelation 22, verse 15. Now I'm going to put up on the NASB the words so that you can see in the Greek. Practices lying. Okay? G5579. We're going to bring it up on the dictionary. Conscious, a lie, number one. This is pseudos, a lie, number one. Number two, conscious and intentional falsehood. Okay. Now, what would be an intentional falsehood? Well, that would be eating pork. Because God does not change in Leviticus 11. Since God is the same always in Hebrews 13:8, and Yeshua the Messiah said in Matthew 5:18, not one jot or tittle. So if you celebrate Christ Mass or Easter or the Sunday worship, okay, then that would be a falsehood. Okay? If you don't get circumcised, that would be a falsehood. Since Abraham was 90 years old or above when he circumcised himself and his whole house. And Yeshua says, do the Passover in remembrance of me, but you can't eat the Passover. Exodus 12, verse 44 and 45 states, no uncircumcised man or a slave bought with money, that would be a Gentile, can eat of the Passover. So Yeshua bought you for 30 pieces of silver, and he used Yehuda, Judas, to go get the 30 pieces of silver. So he bought the world for the 30 pieces of silver. You still have to do Passover on the 14th day of the first month, pursuant with God, or you're practicing falsehood. Now I'm going to come back to Matthew 5. Well, hence, I hope Matthew 7:23 is very apparent to you. Now we're coming back to Matthew 5. We're on slide number 50.
Regresamos a la página 50.
Sorry, those in Spanish,
Disculpa aquellos que no hablan inglés.
but you have to do what is presented in front of you.
Amén.
Matthew 10, verse 21.
Mateo capítulo 10, versículos 21 y 22.
A brother will betray his brother to death, a father his child. Children will turn against their parents and have them put to death. Everyone will hate you because of me, but whoever holds out to the end will preserve from harm. Okay, the family is hating you
La familia te está odiando
because you're going back to God's laws.
porque está regresando a las leyes de
Because
Dios.
you're telling them that they're doing something evil,
Porque le está diciendo a ellos que ellos están haciendo algo que es malvado.
like eating ham sandwiches or shrimp or
Comiendo
clams or whatever.
jamón, camarones o ostiones.
Because to Jews, that is not food.
Porque para los judíos eso no es comida.
Okay? Or you're doing something like celebrating Artemis of the Ephesians.
O, celebrando Armes de los Efesios.
Okay? So when you want to go back to following God's laws,
Cuando quieres hacer algo como regresar a las leyes de Dios,
your brothers and sisters are going to betray you.
tus hermanos y tus hermanas te van a traicionar.
And that also ties together with John chapter 3.
Y eso también se une con Juan capítulo 3.
Yeah, where Yeshua says they love the darkness.
Donde Yeshua dice que ellos aman a las tinieblas.
Now, why would Yeshua say that?
Porque Yeshua va a decir
And
eso.
how would I know what darkness
¿Y
is?
cómo voy a saber lo que es tiniebla?
Well, the light is God's laws.
La luz es las leyes de Dios.
Did we miss a word?
No.
Okay.
He's showing me Artemis.
Artemis. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeshua, the laws of God are the light.
Para Yeshua las leyes de Dios es la luz.
It separates us from the pagans.
Nos separa de los paganos.
Okay. It separates us from the Muslims.
Nos separa de los musulmanes.
It separates us from the church,
Nos separa de la iglesia
which is following Constantine.
que está siguiendo a Constantino.
Okay. So here, Yeshua is saying,
So aquí Yeshua está diciendo,
when you follow me,
Cuando me sigues.
when you don't follow tradition.
Cuando no sigues la tradición.
And tradition gets many Jews killed.
Y la tradición hizo que murieran muchos judíos.
Like lighting candles on Shabbat is a tradition and it is bad.
Como encender las velas de Shabbat es tradición y es malo.
So people are going to hate you when you tell them to stop doing their tradition.
La gente te va a odiar cuando tú le dices a ellos que se detengan de practicar las tradiciones.
But it's the only day, we're getting together for Christmas. I don't really celebrate Christmas, but the whole family gets together for Christmas.
Nos vamos a reunir para la Navidad. Yo no lo celebro, pero la familia entera se va a reunir para la Navidad.
We can't be involved in pagan rituals.
No podemos estar envueltos en los ritos paganos.
And those of us who are Jewish,
Y nosotros que somos
who don't
judíos,
do the pagan rituals anymore,
no hacemos los ritos
our
paganos.
family really does hate us
Nuestra familia nos odia.
because we want to follow Yeshua the Messiah and the laws of God.
Porque queremos seguir a Yeshua el Mesías y las leyes
Now
de
let's
Dios.
go on to the next slide.
Ahora vamos a la próxima página.
We're going on to Matthew 5:11.2.
Vamos a Mateo 5:11.2.
Going on to the next slide.
FM. No. Vamos a la próxima página.
Matthew 5, verse 11.
Mateo capítulo 5, versículo 11.
Okay, Matthew 5, verse 11.
Mateo capítulo 5, versículo 11.
Exhilarating discussion. Makes you want to think. How blessed you are when people insult you and persecute you and tell all kinds of vicious lies about you. Because you follow me. Now, reading Matthew
Leyendo Mateo
must be understood in the Hebrews 13:8 understanding.
debe de ser entendido en un entendimiento de Hebreos 13:8.
That Messiah is the same yesterday,
Que Yeshua es
today, and forever.
Que Yeshua el Mesías es el mismo ayer, hoy y para siempre.
He doesn't change.
No cambia.
Or as in the King Jimmy says, he changes not.
O como dice en el King James, él no cambia.
The gay King James. Okay. So when you're reading this,
Cuando estás leyendo esto,
it must be understood
debe de ser entendido
with Hebrew eyes.
con ojos hebreos.
That's where I find the greatest challenges. When you're reading, you don't read it back there.
Ahí es que veo el reto más grande es cuando lo lees con otros ojos.
Yes. Like if Messiah is the same,
Sí, el Mesías es el mismo
and he did most of his healings on the Shabbat,
y hizo la mayoría de sus milagros en Shabbat.
okay? He's going to be if he's going to keep the Shabbat,
Si él va a guardar Shabbat,
because he's the Lord of the Shabbat.
porque él es el Señor del Shabbat.
Now remember, there's no names of the week, no names of the days.
Acuérdate que los días en hebreo no tienen nombre.
There is when we get the names of the days of the week,
Cuando vemos los nombres de los días de la semana,
is in the Babylonian captivity.
es en el cautiverio babilónico.
But on day 1, God created blah.
Pero en el primer día Dios creó bla.
On day 2, he created blah.
En el segundo día Él creó bla.
But then on the 7th day, he rested. It gets a name.
Pero en el séptimo día Él descansó y recibió un nombre.
So when you're reading the Gospels,
So, cuando estás leyendo los
or even
evangelios
Shaul's writings, Paul's
o
writings,
las escrituras de Pablo,
it must be understood through Hebrew eyes.
tiene que ser entendido por ojos hebreos.
So let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima página.
Now what we teach here
Aquí lo que enseñamos
is one of the things you really need to understand.
es una de las cosas que en verdad necesitas
As I had a very
entender.
good, Roger? With the gentleman here? Roger. What's your first name, sir? Ron. I knew it was an R. Okay. Okay. You need to speak the same language.
Necesitas hablar la misma lengua.
Now, Ben is speaking Spanish.
Ben está
Puerto
hablando
Rican
español.
Spanish.
Boricua. No.
But the Guatemalan over there
Pero el guatemalteco allí
is saying he's really not speaking Spanish.
se está burlando de él diciendo que no habla español
And his
bien.
Colombian wife is saying neither of you are speaking Spanish.
¿Y qué?
Ecuadorian.
Ecuatoriana. Yeah, sí.
The Colombiana over there
La colombiana
is saying none of you are speaking Spanish. The Colombians are speaking Spanish.
está diciendo ninguno habla bien el español, nosotros lo hablamos
So
bien.
one of the things you need to do
Una de las cosas que tiene que hacer
is have a concordance
es tener una
and
concordancia
and a dictionary,
y un diccionario
okay, and a good translation.
y una buena traducción.
Okay, so let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima página.
We're looking this study, although it's taken some time.
Estamos mirando este estudio, aunque ha tomado tiempo.
We're focusing on the word persecute.
Estamos enfocados en la palabra
Okay.
perseguir o
Now,
persecución.
we only have right now the Greek translation.
Solo tenemos la traducción griega por ahora.
The Detilen is yet to come out
El
where-
Detilen todavía ha de salir
because the New Testament was written in Hebrew first.
porque el Nuevo Testamento fue escrito en el hebreo
But for
primero.
right now, we only have the Greek.
Pero ahora lo que tenemos es el griego.
Greek is the second good language.
El griego es la segunda lengua mejor.
The perfect language
La lengua perfecta
is Hebrew.
es el hebreo.
It's the only perfect language in the world.
You heard that, Isabel? Es la única lengua perfecta en el mundo.
Okay, why do I say Hebrew is perfect?
¿Por qué digo que el hebreo es perfecto?
Because God gave us his perfection in Hebrew.
Porque Dios nos dio su perfección en hebreo.
He spoke the words from the mountain in Hebrew.
Él habló las palabras desde la montaña en el hebreo.
Okay, but what we have now is the second good language is Greek.
Lo que tenemos ahora es la segunda lengua griega.
Okay, so when we're looking for persecute,
Cuando estamos mirando la palabra persecución o perseguir,
okay, it is G1377 in the Thayer Dictionary.
en el diccionario Thayer es el G1377.
Number 1,
Número 1.
persecute means to make, to run or flee, put to flight, drive something away.
Es hacer huir, poner en vuelo o echar afuera.
Number 2,
Número 2.
to run swiftly in order to catch a person or a thing to run after.
Correr ligeramente para poder capturar una persona o una cosa. A
To-
correr detrás.
To be,
2B.
or not to be, that is the to pursue in a hostile manner.
Perseguir en una manera hostil.
Number 3,
Número 3.
in any way, whatever, to harass, trouble, molest, Weinstein, or to persecute.
En cualquier manera para acosar, molestar o perseguir.
No, you know,
No.
I don't think it
They
translates.
wouldn't get it. They wouldn't get it.
Okay, number 4,
Número
to
4.
mistreat, suffer persecution on account of something.
A ser maltratado o sufrir persecución por causa de algo.
Number 5,
Número 5.
to seek after eagerly, earnestly endeavor to acquire.
A buscar con ansiedad.
I don't know, ask Adriana. She's
Ernest,
looking for it. She's got an iPhone, it takes a while. Okay? All right, well, we're really not going to go to that one.
Okay, no. Ansiosamente, right? That's what I said.
Okay? So, persecution
Persecución
is putting, you're going to be driving something away.
va a estar echando algo para afuera.
Okay? So, in Matthew 5:11,
Mateo 5:11.
how blessed you are when people insult you and drive you away.
Bienaventurados cuando la gente te insultan y te echan
Okay,
lejos,
whatever. To put to flight.
sí, que te ponen a volar.
Going on to the next slide.
La próxima página.
Now remember, Yeshua is a Jew
Acuérdate que Yeshua es un judío,
talking to Jews.
hablándole a los judíos.
He would have used the Hebrew word
Él va a usar la palabra hebrea.
because remember, he came for the house of Israel.
Acuérdate que él vino de la casa de Israel.
Okay? The word persecute in the Hebrew
La palabra perseguir en el hebreo
is H7291 radaf.
es H7291 radaf.
Okay? Resh, Dalit, Pe, Sofit. Okay?
Yeah.
Radaf means number one,
significa número uno,
to be behind,
estar detrás,
follow after,
seguir,
pursue,
perseguir,
persecute,
perseguir,
run after.
correr detrás.
Number two,
Número dos,
put to flight,
poner a volar, a vuelo,
chase,
que chase,
like
Cor-
you're
correr detrás,
like you know,
perseguir,
like
Yeah.
you're running after a bank
yeah,
robber.
perseguir.
Somebody stole your wallet.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's in your wallet?
Dog, as like the dog's running after you because you
Perro.
stole its bone.
Perro,
Okay. Attend closely upon,
atender atender bien cercano
okay. And number three, harass.
y acosar.
Okay. Now, what happens with a lot of people
Lo que sucede con mucha gente,
is they read the Brit Hadashah, the New Testament,
ellos leen el Nuevo Testamento, el Brit Hadashah,
without establishing the Old.
sin establecer el antiguo.
See, once the word is established in Hebrew,
Eh,
once the word is established
ya,
in Hebrew,
ya cuando la palabra es establecida en el hebreo,
the word does not change.
la palabra no cambia.
The definition does not change.
El significado no cambia.
Okay? Sort of like homosexuality.
Como con el homosexualismo.
Okay, we have homosexuality in Leviticus 18, verse 22.
Levíticos 18:22, a donde nos habla en contra el homosexualismo.
Okay? So man shall not lie down with man as he lays with a woman, homosexual.
El hombre no se debe de acostar con una mujer como con una mujer, eso es ser
The
homosexual.
reason we're talking about this
La razón por qué estamos hablando sobre
is when
esto
you're reading the Gospels
es que cuando estamos leyendo los
and
evangelios
the New Testament, the Brit Hadashah,
y el Nuevo Testamento, el Brit
you
Hadashah,
get into a wrong understanding
entramos a un malentendido
because you don't have your law of first reference.
porque no tenemos nuestra ley de primera referencia.
Okay? The law of first reference for Shabbat
La ley de primera referencia para el Shabbat
is Genesis chapter 2, verse 3, Bereshit 2:3.
es Génesis capítulo 2, versículo 3.
So God rested on the seventh day,
Dios descansó en el séptimo
and
día
he separated it as holy.
y lo separó como santo.
So if you're worshiping on Sunday, that is not the holy day.
So, si estás adorando domingo, ese no es el día santo.
Genesis, Bereshit 2, verse 3.
Génesis capítulo 2, versículo 3.
Okay? 2, 3.
Dos,
Once,
tres.
once something is established, it
Ya
does
cu-
not change.
Ya cuando algo es establecido, nunca cambia.
Going on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima página.
We're going to understand the word persecute. Why Yeshua used the word persecute.
Vamos a entender por qué Yeshua usó la palabra perseguir o
What is
persecución.
persecution?
¿Qué es persecución?
Because a lot of people think they're being persecuted in this country.
Porque mucha gente piensa que están siendo perseguidos en este país.
You might want to go live in Uganda
Debes vivir en Uganda
or Sudan.
o en Sudán.
2 places I've been.
Son dos lugares a donde yo
You want to talk
estaba.
about persecution? That's real.
¿Quieres hablar de persecución? Eso es real.
You want to talk about persecution?
¿Quieres hablar de persecución?
You might want to be a Christian in the Middle East right now, except for Israel.
Debes de ser cristiano ahora en el Medio Oriente. ¿De what?
A Christian in
In the
the
Middle East.
Middle East, except for Israel.
Excepto en Israel.
Okay? See, you have to be speaking the same language.
Tienes que estar hablando la misma lengua.
Yeshua didn't just throw around any word.
Yeshua no usó simplemente cualquier palabra.
He chose specific words.
Él escogió palabras en específico.
Now, he's a Jew
Él es judío,
talking to Jews.
hablándole a judíos.
And the Jews are reading the Torah.
Y los judíos están leyendo
The
Torah.
Torah is read every week in the synagogues.
La Torah se lee cada semana en Shabbat en la sinagoga.
And then they would go to a prophetic reading after that.
Y después leían una lectura profética después de eso.
That's if they were a rich congregation.
Eso era si eran una congregación rica.
Every congregation would at least have a Torah scroll.
Cada congregación por lo menos tenía un rollo de Torah.
Okay, but not every congregation would have scrolls for Isaiah and the other prophets.
Pero no todas las congregaciones tenían rollos de, digamos, Isaías y los otros
So
profetas.
we're going to look at what persecute meant in the Old Testament.
Vamos a ver qué significa la palabra perseguir en el Viejo
So when
Testamento.
Yeshua said that you're going to be persecuted, you need to understand what persecution really
Cuando-
is to God.
Cuando Yeshua dijo que iba a ser perseguido, debemos de entender qué significa la palabra persecución o perseguir para Dios.
Because once you establish the word
Porque ya cuando estableces la palabra
and the way of doing things, it doesn't
y
change,
en la manera de hacer las cosas nunca cambia,
nor does its meaning.
ni tampoco su significado.
Very simply for the new people,
Simplemente para los nuevos.
let's understand
Vamos a entender
what I mean by this.
qué quiero decir con esto.
The word fag
La palabra fag
is a relatively new term.
es un término relativamente nueva.
It started in the 1800s.
Comenzó en los 1800.
The word fag,
La palabra fag.
okay? Now, it first started out as a cigarette.
Primero comenzó como un cigarrillo.
Okay, a fag was a cigarette. Do you have a fag?
Un fag era un cigarrillo. Tienes un fag.
The etymology of the word is a British word.
La etimología de la palabra es una palabra británica.
Then it changed to a remnant of a piece of cloth.
Entonces se cambió a un remanente de un pedazo de tela.
You would come into a rag shop and say, do you have any fags?
Tú entrabas a una tienda de telas y le preguntabas si tenían fags.
And the shop's owner would say, they're in the closet in the back.
Y el dueño del taller decía, están en un closet en la parte de atrás.
Okay? Next, the word became synonymous with Saddam, the city of Saddam,
Entonces después la palabra vino a ser sinónimo con la ciudad de Sodoma,
not Amorah,
no Amorra.
because Saddam was a homosexual city.
Sodoma era la ciudad homosexual.
Amorah was fornication.
Amorra fue fornicación.
Okay? Now it is synonymous with San Francisco.
Ahora es sinónimo con San Francisco.
So let's understand what persecute
So vamos,
means in the Hebrew.
so vamos a entender qué significa perseguir en el hebreo.
Let's start with Psalm 71.
Vamos a comenzar con Salmo 71.
Psalm 71.
Salmo 71.
So why we're doing this,
¿Por qué estamos haciendo
as we've
esto?
done for the 46 weeks,
Que hemos hecho por los 46 semanas.
once you establish the beginning,
Ya cuando estableces el comienzo,
you're going
el
to
principio,
understand what Yeshua means when he talks.
vas a entender qué quiere decir Yeshua cuando él habla.
And remember, God doesn't change and he
Yeah.
doesn't contradict himself.
Acuérdate, Dios nunca cambia ni tampoco se contradice.
Okay? Psalm 71, verse 11 through 13.
Salmo 71, versículos 11 al 13.
They say, God has abandoned him. Go after him, pursue, and seize him because no one will save him. God, Elohim, don't distance yourself from me. My Elohim, hurry to help me. May those who are opposed to me be put to shame and ruin. May those who seek to harm me be covered with scorn and disgrace. Amen?
Amen.
So the first part is we're talking about King David, or he's just David here.
La primera parte estamos hablando de David.
Okay, David was being pursued.
David estaba siendo perseguido.
Okay, he did nothing wrong,
Él no hizo nada malo,
but Shaul didn't like his light.
pero Saúl no le gustó su luz.
Okay, David was the head of the army,
David era el líder del ejército.
and here he said, you know, the song said, Saul killed his 1,000 and David killed his 10,000.
Y el pueblo estaba cantando o proclamando que Saúl mató sus miles y David sus 10,000.
So Shaul was trying to kill David.
So Saúl estaba tratando de matar a David.
So let's look at the beginning of verse 11.
So vamos a mirar el principio del versículo 11.
They say God has abandoned him. Go after him, pursue and seize him because no one will save him. All right, so here pursuing
Aquí persiguiendo
is somebody is chasing you, as we read in the definition.
es algo está corriendo detrás de ti.
They're trying to kill you.
Están tratando de matarte.
Why are they trying to kill you?
¿Por qué están tratando de matarte?
Because in Matthew 5,
Porque en Mateo 5,
you're hungering and thirsting for righteousness.
tú tienes hambre y sed de justicia.
You're telling people that being homosexual is bad.
Tú le estás diciendo a la gente que ser homosexual es malo.
You're telling the Gentiles eating ham is
Le
bad.
está diciendo a los gentiles que comer jamón es malo.
Because you're hungering and thirsting for righteousness. righteousness.
Porque tú tienes hambre y sed de justicia.
You don't want those things in your house or in your neighborhood.
Tú no quieres esas cosas en tu casa o en tu vecindario.
So then Yeshua goes on in his discourse
Entonces Yeshua sigue en su discurso
in Matthew 5:11.
en Mateo 5:11.
You're blessed
Eres
when
bendecido
people are insulting you and persecuting
cuando
you.
la gente te están insultando y persiguiéndote.
They're chasing after you. Why?
Están corriendo
If
detrás
we're
de
living
ti.
under
¿Por qué?
grace and it doesn't really matter,
Si estamos viviendo bajo la gracia y en verdad no
then why do
importa,
they care about what I said?
entonces ¿por qué le importa lo que yo
If
digo?
each person can do what's right in their own
Si
eyes,
cada persona puede hacer lo que está bien en su propia vista,
then Shaul was right for trying to kill David.
Shaul estaba correcto en tratando de matar a
Kim
David.
Jong-un is all right for killing all the Christians in North Korea.
Kim Jong-un es correcto en matar todos los cristianos en Corea del Norte.
Boko Haram is okay for stealing all the Christian girls and raping them.
Está bien para que Boko Haram
Stealing all the girls. Kidnapping.
secuestrando, yeah, thank you, I got a brain fart. Secuestrando a las niñas cristianas y violándolas.
So here, pursue, the first reference here.
Perseguir, la primera referencia aquí,
This is not the law of first reference. I'm going to go back to that one.
no es la ley de primera referencia.
But I wanted you to see that somebody is chasing after you to really, they hate you, they want to kill you.
Quiero que vea que aquí alguien está corriendo detrás de ti porque te odian, te quieren matar.
Then in verse 12, look at verse 12.
Entonces miremos el versículo 12.
Elohim, don't distance yourself from me. My Elohim, hurry to help me. Amen?
Amén.
So there you see Elohim,
Ahí tú ves a Elohim,
because David has a relationship with Yeshua. He knows him.
porque David tiene una relación con Yeshua, él lo conoce.
And we know that from Psalm 110, verse 1, he says it.
Sabemos eso de Salmo 110, versículo 1, él lo dice.
So he's using Elohim here. He's not using Jehovah, the Father's name.
Él no está usando el nombre del Padre aquí, él está usando Elohim.
And he's saying to the Lord, don't distance yourself from me.
Y él está diciendo al Señor, no te distancies de mí.
Because when people are persecuting you
Porque cuando la gente te están persiguiendo
and insulting
y
you,
insultándote,
you stand stronger for the laws of God and for Yeshua the Messiah.
tú te paras más firme para las leyes de Dios y para Yeshua el
You
Mesías.
push back
Tú empujas para atrás.
because we've allowed the laws to be pushed out of our country and
Porque-
out of the world.
Porque nosotros hemos permitido que ellos saquen las leyes de nuestro país y de nuestro mundo.
And that's why the seals are about to be
Y
opened.
por eso que los sellos están a punto de abrirse.
Not because we're good,
No porque somos buenos,
but we're under grace.
porque estamos bajo gracia.
No, we're garbage.
Pues somos basura.
So when you want to bring the word of God,
So, cuando tú quieres llevar la palabra de
you want to
Dios,
say to the person, you got to celebrate the Sabbath.
le quiere decir a la persona, tienes que celebrar el Shabbat.
Then people are going to insult you. I don't need to do that.
La gente te va a insultar. No
Well,
necesito hacer eso.
Good luck with that at trial.
Buena suerte en tu juicio.
I'm going to follow Yeshua.
Yo voy a seguir a Yeshua.
I'm not going to follow Paul.
Yo no voy a seguir
Paul's
a
a
Pablo.
good guy,
Paul fue un señor
but
bueno.
Yeshua's Messiah, and he said, follow me.
Pero Yeshua es Mesías y él dijo que lo sigan.
So if somebody can tell me a Sunday service that Yeshua did, I'll be happy to follow it.
Si alguien me puede mostrar a donde Yeshua hizo un servicio en domingo,
And Yeshua never changes.
yo lo sigo y
Okay.
Yeshua nunca cambia.
So the first thing with the persecute here
Aquí, lo primero con perseguir aquí,
is somebody wants to kill you.
es que alguien te quiere matar.
Anybody feeling it? Anybody feeling it? All right. You know, that's why I read that news article today. I was like, wow.
Yo leí esa historia en las noticias hoy y yo dije como, wow,
We're a hate group for promoting traditional marriage.
una organización de odio por promover, en contra promoviendo el matrimonio tradicional. Yeah,
Going
at
on to the
at
next
work
slide.
It's like that for us.
Okay?
At work it's like that for us. It just feels like everybody wants to kill us.
Welcome to the country. All right, let's go to the second reference.
Vamos a la segunda referencia.
Turn to the prophet Yirmiyahu, Jeremiah 15.
Vamos a Jeremías 15:15.
Remember, you can't understand the Brit unless you understand the Tanakh.
No puedes entender el Nuevo Testamento hasta que no entiendas el Viejo Testamento.
Because it's one book.
Porque es un libro.
You got 30 minutes. Think of dry deserts.
Oh man, that's what I've been trying to think of. But you know what? the 40 days and 40 night flood just keep pulling from me.
Told you not to have that second cup of coffee.
Oh man, it wasn't
gotta
that
deal with
second
it.
cup of coffee. It was
Receive
the third
it.
cup of water. Reprende.
Jeremiah 15, verse 15.
Jeremías 15:15.
All right. Jehovah, you know, remember me, think of me, and take vengeance for me on my persecutors. Because you are patient, don't banish me. Know that for your sake I suffer insults. Amen?
Amén.
Jeremiah suffered a lot.
Jeremías sufrió mucho.
You know, a lot.
Wasn't he the crying prophet?
Yes, he cried a lot.
Yeah.
Now, why did he cry?
¿Por qué Jeremías lloró?
Because he was trying to bring Torah to the people.
Porque él estaba tratando de traer la Torá a la gente.
But they just
al
wanted to
pueblo.
do what they wanted to
Pero
do.
ellos querían hacer lo que querían hacer.
Now, how did that turn out?
¿Y cómo terminó eso?
Those that wanted to do got taken off into captivity.
Aquellos que querían hacer fueron llevados a la cautividad.
Now, what happened?
¿Y qué sucedió?
Those that kept the law
Aquellos que guardaron la ley
got to stay in Jerusalem.
lograron quedarse en Jerusalén.
They were saved.
Ellos fueron
They didn't get
salvos
taken into
y
captivity.
no fueron llevados al
So, Verse
cautiverio.
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
You're,
Go ahead.
think of sandpaper. Okay. Now, the beginning of the sentence,
En el principio del versículo,
Jeremiah says, remember me.
Jeremías dice, acuérdate de mí.
When people are insulting you
Cuando la gente te están insultando
because you're growing a beard,
porque te dejaste crecer la barba,
you're wearing the tzitzit,
estás usando tzitzit,
you're not doing tradition,
no estás haciendo tradición,
okay? And people are telling you you don't have to do that stuff anymore,
y la gente te está diciendo no tiene que hacer esas cosas más.
okay? They're going to start insulting you,
Van a comenzar a insultarte
okay? Because you want to bring truth.
porque quieres traer la verdad.
What is truth?
¿Qué es la verdad?
613.
613.
Okay, now you don't have to do the 270 for the temple.
No tienes que hacerlo 270 para el templo.
And if you're a guy, you don't have to worry about an Adah,
Y si
a
eres,
menstrual cycle.
si eres hombre, no tienes que preocuparte de la neidad.
If you're not married, you don't have to worry about those either.
Si no eres casado, no te tienes que preocupar
So,
de
you know,
aquello
you're
también.
breaking it down to about 150 to 200 laws that you have to follow.
So, tal vez son unos 100 a 200 leyes que tienes
And
que
most of
guardar.
those are about food.
Y la mayoría de esos se trata de la
Eat
comida.
this, don't eat that.
Come esto, no coma esto.
Okay, don't eat pig.
No coma cerdo.
Why don't you want to eat pig?
Don't wear a woman's garment. No.
No, that's different.
But that's a commandment.
It's in the Hebrew, it's Kelly. Don't wear armor.
Oh, armor. No, but a man's not supposed to dress like a woman.
A woman is not to wear, you're mixing up apples and oranges. Let me help you out with
Apples
that,
and
son.
oranges are good.
Apples and oranges are both good, especially this time of year. Okay, baking apples, a jazz apple is really good. All right, anyway, we'll sidetrack for a moment. Bunny trail for you for a second.
Okay.
A woman is not to wear man's clothing, but in the Hebrew it says armor
Armor.
because it says Kelly.
Right.
That means armor. So she can't be a cop
Right.
or serve in the military
Right.
because you got to wear armor.
Right.
Okay, and she's not to wear tzitzit because it was given to the man.
Yeah.
Okay, now back to this study.
Okay.
Bunny trail. Okay, now
Kosher rabbit.
look at verse 15 again.
Vamos a mirar el versículo 15 de nuevo.
Jehovah, you know, remember me, think of me, and take vengeance for me on my persecutors. Because you are patient, don't banish me. Know that for your sake I suffer insults. Okay, so here Jeremiah is suffering insults.
Aquí Jeremías está sufriendo insultos.
What was Jeremiah doing?
¿Qué estaba haciendo Jeremías?
He was telling them to go back to the law.
Le estaba diciendo que regresaran a la ley.
And people say, well, we can't keep the law.
Y la gente está diciendo, no podemos guardar la ley.
But God says in Deuteronomy 30, you can keep the law.
Pero Dios dice en Deuteronomio 30 que sí lo puedes guardar.
People say you can't do it.
La gente dice que no lo puede hacer.
But God says you can.
Pero Dios dice que puede.
It's not up in heaven.
No está arriba en el cielo.
It's not across the sea.
No está en la otra parte del
God
mar.
himself, through his Shamash Moshe, says
Dios-
that you can do it.
Dios mismo, mismo a través de su siervo Moisés dijo que lo puede
And that's in
hacer.
Deuteronomy chapter
Y
30.
eso es en Deuteronomio capítulo
Okay?
30.
But you're going to be persecuted.
Pero vas a ser perseguido.
People are going to insult you.
La gente te van a insultar.
You know, you go to an Orthodox Jewish synagogue,
Vas a una sinagoga ortodoxa judía
or you go to an Orthodox Jewish family,
o vas a una familia ortodoxa.
and the woman's, got the thing over her head on Friday night.
La mujer tiene el manto sobre su cabeza.
You ever see
el
that? You know, and they
viernes,
put this doily on their head.
pone ese
Did you
manto.
do the doily? No doily?
No.
My mother did the doily. Okay, and then she lights to do candles 18 minutes before sundown.
And yeah, what is that? What is with that?
It's life.
Chaim.
Chai.
Chaim.
Yod Hey. Chai.
Yeah.
It's life. So you have to light it 18 minutes before sundown. Where that is? Talmud.
Eso se encuentra en el Talmud, donde hay que encender las velas 18 minutos antes de la caída del sol.
That's in the Jerusalem Talmud.
Yeah, I hear it on 10:10 Wins every Shabbat.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Candlelighting is at 7:16.
So when I said to my mother, And
Le
I-
dije a mi mamá,
I said to my Orthodox cousins,
le dije a mis primos ortodoxos,
where do you find this? You have to talk to them like this.
¿a dónde encuentras esto?
It's a beautiful ceremony.
Es una ceremonia
It
bella.
looks so beautiful. You go this, and
Es
she
bien
covers
lindo
it,
que
right?
uno hace así, así.
Where do you find
¿A
this?
dónde se encuentra?
I was looking for it in the Torah,
Lo estaba buscando en la Torá
and it's nowhere to be found.
y no lo encuentro en ningún lado.
So I said, I'm not doing it.
Le dije, no lo estoy.
How do I tell a Catholic not to pray to an idol if I'm doing something that I can't find in the
¿Cómo le
Bible?
digo a un católico que no le rece a un ídolo si yo no puedo guardar,
Pray to an idol.
a orar, rezarle a un ídolo si no puedo guardar el mandamiento?
So you're going to be persecuted
So, vas a ser perseguido
for telling people the truth.
por decirle la verdad a la gente.
Let's look at the end of the sentence.
Vamos a mirar el final del versículo.
Don't banish me, know that for your sake I suffer insults.
Amén.
Okay? So when you tell people the truth,
So, cuando le dices la verdad
that
a la
God never
gente, que
changes,
Dios nunca cambia,
that you got to keep these things.
que tienes que guardar estas cosas.
Because Yeshua said in Matthew 7
Porque Yeshua dijo en Mateo 5
and in Revelation 22, verse 15,
y en Revelación 25,
you got to
15,
keep these things.
tienes que guardar estas cosas.
People are, oh, he's legalistic. Thank you.
Él
You
es
notice.
legalista. Gracias.
I'm very happy to meet your acquaintance.
Estoy muy
Because Jehovah never
muy
changes.
alegre de conocerlo.
Okay, because Jehovah never changes.
Porque Jehová nunca cambia.
And I'm going to follow him.
Y yo lo voy a seguir a
Because
él.
Yeshua said in John 14, 15, if you love me, you'll keep my
Porque
commandments.
Yeshua dijo en Juan 14:15, si me amas, guardarás mis
And if Yeshua
mandamientos.
kept kosher,
Y si Yeshua guardó kosher,
I'm keeping kosher.
yo voy a guardar kosher. And I can do all things in Messiah.
Oh,
that strengthen me.
Ephesians.
Yes.
I forgot Ephesians.
Yes.
Going on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima página.
Now we're going to go to the law of first reference.
Vamos a la ley de primera referencia.
Because once we establish what pursue means,
Porque ya cuando establecemos lo que significa
Then the-
perseguir,
the meaning doesn't change.
entonces el significado no cambia.
Because Hebrew does not change, it's dead.
Porque el hebreo no cambia,
It's dead.
está muerto.
Okay? English changes like the word fag.
El inglés cambia como la palabra
It
fag.
went from a cigarette
Se pasó de un cigarrillo
to a rag
a un
to
pedazo de
somebody
tela,
from San Francisco.
a alguien de San Francisco y Tel Aviv.
Yeah, in Tel Aviv.
Y Tel Aviv.
All right, so let's turn to Genesis, Bereshit 14, verse 14.
Vamos a Génesis 14:14.
Maybe Adriana can take over for a minute? You got 20 minutes. Can you hold it? Come on, be a man.
Sure. It'll be coming out of my ears.
Oh,
soon,
man, you
but
got to be
no,
like
it's-
my wife. You got to be like Robertson Kelly. She was a nurse for 20 years. They can hold the urine for 8 hours on the floor.
She's a better person than me.
And man, when I ran on the ambulance, go 12 hours. If we were busy on the bus.
I'd hate to see what was
Right,
in those
Denise?
saline solution
You're
bottles.
busy on the bus, you can't go. Denise is over there going, All right,
let's
Genesis,
go, let's go.
Bereshit 14, verse 14.
Génesis 14:14.
When Abraham heard that his nephew had been taken captive, he led out his trained men who had been born in his house, 318 of them, and went in pursuit as far as Dan. Okay? So the first reference here,
La primera referencia aquí,
pursue means chasing after something.
y perseguir significa correr detrás de algo.
Remember, his nephew Lot had been taken.
Acuérdate que su sobrino Lot fue capturado.
Now, this is another thing to our discussion here tonight.
Esto es otra cosa sobre nuestra discusión esta tarde.
When you separate from the blessing,
Cuando te separas de la bendición,
Lot separated from the one who was blessed.
Lot se separó del que fue bendecido.
Then you get taken captive by the enemies.
Entonces eres capturado por los enemigos.
Remember Lot and Avram?
Acuérdate que Lot y Abraham,
They had gotten so many cattle and sheep and stuff.
ellos unieron sus ganados,
And Jehovah had already made a covenant with Avram.
y Jehová hizo un pacto con Abraham.
No, not Abraham. He's Avram at this
Abraham.
point.
Abraham.
Okay. His name has not been changed yet.
Abraham.
He's father at this point.
Él es padre.
When he gets to be Avraham,
Cuando llega a ser Abraham,
he's father of the nations, Abba et Goyim in the Hebrew.
yes. Él es padre de las naciones.
Okay.
Abba Goim en el hebreo.
Now Avram's got the blessing.
Abraham tiene la bendición.
If you walk with the blessing, you stay blessed.
Si caminas con la bendición, eres bendecido.
But they were fighting between one another.
Pero estaban peleando el uno con el otro.
When you separate from God's word and the blessing,
Cuando te separas de la palabra de Dios y la bendición,
then you get taken captive by the enemies.
entonces eres capturado por el enemigo.
That's why we walk with Yeshua.
Por eso es que caminamos con Yeshua.
Because Yeshua said in John 14, verse 15, what?
Porque Yeshua dijo en Juan 14:15 que
If you love me, you'll keep my
si
commandments.
me amas guardarás mis
Now, what
mandamientos.
commandments would that be since he's not reading Ephesians?
¿Y cuáles mandamientos serán esos? Como
Or
no está
Colossians.
leyendo el Nuevo
Or
Testamento.
Galatians or Timothy? That would be, or he's not even speaking of Revelation yet.
Él no está hablando sobre revelaciones todavía.
So that would be 613.
Eso será 603.
Okay? So the law of first reference is somebody is chasing after.
So, la ley de primera referencia es que alguien está corriendo detrás.
Danger has happened.
El peligro ha ocurrido.
So now with that understanding,
Ahora con ese entendimiento,
when you look at Matthew 5, verse 11,
cuando miras a Mateo 5, versículo 11,
how blessed you are when people insult you and persecute you and tell all kinds of vicious lies about you because you follow me. Okay?
Amen.
So you're going to be persecuted,
vas a ser perseguido,
chased after, taken captive.
van a correr detrás de ti a capturarte.
This is what you get from your loafer, your law of first reference.
Esto es lo que recibes de la ley de primera
Now,
referencia.
once you understand that,
Ya cuando entiendes eso,
remember, Yeshua is a Jew,
acuérdate que Yeshua es judío,
talking to Jews.
hablándole a los judíos.
He's going to talk in their
Él
understanding.
va a hablar en su entendimiento.
So in this didactic discourse, which starts in Matthew 4 and goes through chapter 7,
En su discurso didáctico que comienza en Mateo capítulo 4
Y-
y sigue a Mateo capítulo 7,
each sentence built on the next.
cada versículo se edifica en la próxima.
But you have to understand it
Tienes que entenderlo,
not with 2,000-year-old Roman glasses.
no con con anteojos romanos de 2000 años atrás.
The word persecute here starts with something being taken,
La palabra perseguir o persecución comienza con algo que es
a
quitado.
person leaving the blessing,
Una persona dejando la bendición o alejándose de la
person
bendición,
then one who has the blessing
y la persona que tiene la bendición
going to recapture his family member.
ir a salvar a su familiar.
Okay, we won't even get into who the 318 is. It's only one person.
Yeah.
It's Eliezer. There are no numbers in Hebrew, it's letters. It says
no
Eliezer.
hay números en hebreo, son todo letras.
That's another teaching that's already on the web.
Yeah.
Going on to the next slide.
En la próxima página.
Okay, to go to Genesis, Bereshit 31, verse 23 and 24.
Vamos a Génesis 31, versículos 23 y 24.
Okay? We'll go till 9:30. 15 more minutes. Come on, be a real man. How you doing there, Marty? You doing okay, Marty?
Yeah, I don't think that classification doesn't hold water.
Genesis, Bereshit 31.
Génesis 31, versículos 23 y 24.
23 verse and 24.
23 y 24.
Got it, Betsy? Go to the index and make it right.
Huh? That what?
'Got it?
10 more minutes.
Laban took his kinsmen with him and spent the next 7 days pursuing Yaakov, overtaking him in the hill country of Gilad. But Elohim came to Laban the Aramean in a dream that night and said to him, "Be careful that you don't say anything to Yaakov, either good or bad." Amen?
Amén.
This is a very good passage.
Esto es un buen pasaje.
Proves that God does talk to the Goyim.
Esto comprueba que Dios le habla a los gentiles.
Because who's the Goyim?
Porque ¿quién es el Goim?
Laban's a Goy.
Labán es un Goy.
Okay, the first Hebrew is who?
El primer hebreo es ¿quién?
Avram. Okay? So by standards, no, let's not go there. Okay? So Laban, the Goy, is chasing the one of the promise.
So, Labán, el gentil, está corriendo detrás del que tiene, de la promesa.
Remember some of the definitions, to chase after.
Acuérdate alguna de las significados, correr detrás.
So in Matthew 5, verse 11,
En Mateo 5:11,
Yeshua is saying, people are going to insult you,
Yeshua está diciendo que la gente te van a insultar.
and even though you left,
Y aunque te fuiste,
they're going to still go after you.
ellos todavía te van a perseguir.
Anybody feeling the pain?
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
I'm definitely feeling the
Even
pain.
though you left and you want to follow the righteous path,
Okay. Que aunque quieras seguir el camino justo,
remember Yeshua says go through the narrow gate.
acuérdate que Yeshua dice que entres por el camino estrecho.
The road is broad,
El camino es ancho
and there's 1,200 denominations of Christianity.
y hay 1200 denominaciones de
And
cristianismo.
Yeshua said, I'm the derech, the emt, and the chai, the way, the truth, and the life.
Yeshua
Only one
dijo-
way.
Yeshua dijo, yo soy el camino, la verdad y la vida. Solamente un camino.
Okay? So here, Yaakov, I got to think of the Jacob,
Jacob,
You know-
Jacobo,
okay? He left.
él se apartó.
He left that house.
Él se apartó de ese hogar.
He took his 2 wives and his 2 concubines
Se llevó sus 2 esposas y sus 2 concubinas
and has left,
y se fue.
but Laban still wanted to pursue him.
Pero Labán todavía le quería correr detrás.
So here in Matthew 5:11,
So, aquí Mateo 5:11,
how blessed you are when people insult you and persecute you and tell all kinds of vicious lies about you because you follow me.
amén.
You follow the word.
Tú sigues la palabra.
In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God.
En el principio era el verbo y el verbo era con Dios y el verbo era Dios.
Okay, and the word doesn't change.
Y la palabra no cambia.
So here you're trying to leave,
Aquí tú te estás tratando de irte.
like, I stopped talking to my sister, but she still talks garbage about me on Facebook.
Yo, ¿de what?
I left my family and said, didn't want to
Me
deal with my
aparté de
family.
mi familia.
No, they really hate me.
Ellos en verdad me odian.
They want the old guy back.
Ellos quieren el viejo Andrew.
The drunk, cursor.
El
Womanizer.
borracho.
That's what you want back, I said to her.
¿Eso es lo que tú quieres de nuevo? Le pregunté.
Okay? No, they don't like the guy who is nice,
A ellos no les gustan la persona que
doesn't curse anymore,
que no maldice ya,
doesn't drink and get drunk and break things anymore.
que no bebe y se emborracha.
I used to make Ron look small. I used to work out a lot too, but then I got old. Huh? I'm old. It's not the years, it's the mileage. Okay? So here, the second reference of pursuing, the second reference pursuing
La segunda referencia para perseguir.
is you're trying to get away.
Estás tratando de huir.
That's why we started in the Matthew 5 or
Por
Matthew
eso-
10,
Por eso que comenzamos en
Matthew 10,
Mateo 10.
where it's going to separate families. They're going to want to kill you.
Que va a separar familias porque van a querer matarte.
But you're just trying to get away. You
Tú
stay
estás
over
tratando
there.
de huir.
It's like the
Tú
Palestinians. Stay on your side of the wall.
quédate allá en esa parte, en el otro lado de la pared.
We don't have to talk to each other. Just stay on your side of the wall.
No tenemos que hablar, solamente quédate en tu lado y yo
But
en
they're
el mío.
pursuing after Israel.
Pero ellos están persiguiendo a Israel.
Okay, so the second reference is you're running for your life.
So, la segunda referencia es que estás corriendo por tu vida.
And we see that in the book of Acts.
Y vemos eso en el libro de los Hechos.
Remember the Pharisee said, you can't preach in this name anymore?
Acuérdate que el fariseo dijo que no puedes predicar en este nombre más.
And Kepha takes a beating for it
Y que Kefa recibe un castigo por eso,
because he was going to preach in Messiah's name.
porque él iba a predicar en el nombre del Mesías,
Because he was a Pharisee.
porque él era un fariseo.
Because why?
¿Por qué?
What's the difference between a Pharisee and a Sadducee?
¿Cuál es la diferencia entre un fariseo y
Do you
un
know,
saduceo?
Stacy? Do you know what the difference between a Pharisee and a Sadducee?
Yeah, it has to do with the resurrection.
Yes.
Tiene que ver con la resurrección.
The Sadducees do not believe in the resurrection. That's why they're sad, you see.
Los saduceos no
It doesn't
creen en
translate.
It doesn't translate in Spanish, but I have to translate it anyway. Los saduceos no creen en la resurrección.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima página.
Let's go to Shemot, Exodus 14.
Vamos a Éxodo capítulo 14.
Exodus 14, verse 4.
Éxodo 14, versículo 4.
Exodus, Shemot 14, verse 4.
Éxodo capítulo 4, capítulo 14, versículo 4.
Everybody got it? Got it, Stace? It doesn't look like you're in Exodus. You should be marking your Bible. So when you got questions later, you'll be able to go to your own Bible, not the PowerPoint. Yeah, the PowerPoint. All right. I will make Pharaoh so hard-hearted that he will pursue them. Thus I will win glory for myself at the expense of Pharaoh and all his army. And the Egyptians will realize at last that I am Jehovah. The people did as ordered. Amen?
Amén.
So in this next reference
En esta próxima referencia
about persecution or pursuit
de persecución o perseguir,
is people are going to hate you so much.
la gente te van a odiar tanto
Like Jeremiah.
como Jeremías.
That's why we started out with the Jeremiah scripture here.
Por eso que comenzamos con la escritura de Jeremías.
You're like, what is he doing now?
¿Qué él está haciendo ahora?
Okay, they're going to hate you so much
Te van a odiar tanto
for bringing the truth.
por traer la verdad.
They're going to not just insult you,
No simplemente te van a insultar.
they're going to tell vicious lies.
Van a hablar mentiras malvadas.
And Pharaoh hated the people of Israel so much. Pharaoh,
El faraón odiaba al pueblo de Israel
you know,
tanto.
after he let them go,
Después que él lo dejó ir,
he was so angry,
él estaba tan
he wanted
enojado
to kill them all.
que lo quería matar a todos.
So now with that understanding,
Ahora con ese entendimiento,
when you look at the word persecute,
cuando miras la palabra perseguir,
radaf in the Hebrew,
radaf en el hebreo,
they're not going to stop at just insulting you.
no van a parar simplemente al insultarte.
Because when you read Matthew 5:12, they want to kill you.
Porque cuando lees Mateo 5:12 te quieren matar.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Because you hunger and thirst for
Porque
righteousness.
tú tienes hambre y sed de la justicia.
You want to follow the truth,
Tú quieres seguir la verdad.
and the truth will set you
Y
free.
la verdad te harás libre.
What is the truth?
¿Qué es la verdad?
Follow Yeshua.
Sigue Yeshua.
Yeshua said what?
Yeshua dijo que
I'm the way, the truth, and the life.
eso es el camino, la verdad y la vida.
What type of life are you to lead?
¿Qué clase de vida debes de
Should
vivir?
you do Sunday worship?
Debes de adorar el domingo.
Yeshua didn't.
Yeshua no lo hizo.
Should you wear white every Shabbat?
Debes de
No.
usar blanco cada Shabbat.
Only on Yom Kippur.
Solo en Yom Kippur.
That's when it's told that we're to wear white.
Ahí es cuando se nos dice usar el blanco.
Are you to keep kosher?
Debes de guardar kosher.
Did Yeshua?
Yeshua
Well, I'm
guardó
going to
kosher.
follow him.
Yo lo voy a seguir a él.
Okay, but they're going to pursue after you.
Te van a perseguir.
Like Pharaoh did, he pursued after them.
Como el faraón hizo, él siguió detrás
They were
de
already
ellos.
gone.
Ellos ya se fueron.
You had let them go.
Él lo dejó ir.
So here Yaakov left,
Aquí Jacob se fue.
okay, but Lavan pursued after him.
Labán siguió detrás de él.
Adriana, you had your hand up?
I was thinking about what's happening right now with the Christians in the Middle East. They're being persecuted and killed, but they're not following Torah.
Chastisement starts with the house of God.
El castigo comienza con la casa de Dios.
Such says 2 Peter.
El segundo Pedro.
They're part of the house, they're just not in the house totally.
Son parte de la casa, pero no completamente.
Because God raises you up
Porque Dios te levanta.
and you're able to defend yourself
Puedes defenderte
when you're following.
cuando estás siguiendo.
And that has been proven throughout history and throughout the Tanakh.
Y eso está comprobado en la historia y en el Tanakh.
That when you keep God's commandments
Cuando guardas los mandamientos de Dios
and you follow
y
Yeshua,
sigues a Yeshua,
you will live.
vas a vivir.
Okay? Let's pause there.
Thank you, Lord.
Oh, wait. Wait, I got to ask for questions. Don't laugh. Your pants will burst and they'll wet them.
Man.
All right. Any questions on Skype?
Hay preguntas en Skype. They're going to kill me. They're going to insult
All right. Any questions on WebEx?
Hay preguntas en WebEx.
All right. Any questions in house?
God bless you. Hay preguntas aquí.
Susan. She's got a yellow coat. It's like, it's yellow. No, not at all.
It's actually chiffon.
All right. Go ahead with your question.
So I see what you're saying, and I agree with, there's protection to those who follow, but then what about when everyone that followed him, except for John, was murdered? Like we can expect to be murdered anyway.
But there are levels
Hay niveles
and there are different circumstances.
y hay diferentes circunstancias.
Because in Deuteronomy 28, what does it say?
En Deuteronomio 28, ¿qué es lo que dice?
No, it's up ahead.
It tells you of promises,
Te habla de promesas,
of protection and blessing.
de protección y bendiciones.
Okay? Now, does God change?
¿Dios cambia?
And throughout history, does God change?
Y en la historia, ¿Dios ha cambiado?
In the year 813, somewhere around there in Russia,
En el año 813 en Rusia.
and this is how powerful following Torah is.
Y esto es lo poderoso que es seguir Torah.
There was a group of Orthodox Jews
Había un grupo de judíos ortodoxos
that were following the Torah, but mostly Talmud.
que estaban siguiendo Torah, pero mayormente Talmud.
A part of the group broke off
Un parte del grupo se separó
and said that they were only going to follow the Torah.
y dijeron que solamente iban a seguir Torah.
And when the czars came in to kill the Jews,
Y cuando los zars vinieron a matar los judíos,
who did they kill?
¿a quiénes
The
mataron?
ones that were following Talmud.
Los que estaban siguiendo Talmud.
Okay? The same goes for the Maccabees.
Lo mismo se trata con los
In the dead
macabeos.
period, there's the Maccabees.
En el periodo muerto había un grupo que se llamaba los
Now, the
macabeos.
Gentiles had taken over Israel,
Los gentiles se apoderaron de Israel
and the Maccabees rose up.
y los macabeos se levantaron.
Now, there was homosexuality going on in Jerusalem.
Había homosexualismo ocurriendo en Jerusalén.
Circumcision was forbidden,
La circuncisión era prohibida.
and if you circumcised your child,
Y si circuncidaba tu hijo,
they would kill the baby and hang it around your neck until it disintegrated.
te mataban el bebé y te lo colgaban en el cuello hasta que se
But then
desintegraba.
a group called the Maccabees rose up,
Pero entonces un grupo que se llamaban los macabeos se levantaron
and they started to follow Torah.
y empezaron a seguir Torah.
And in the final battle before they won back the temple,
Y en la última batalla, antes de que ganaron de nuevo el templo,
it was 60,000 Roman Syrian soldiers
eran 60,000 soldados romanos sirios
versus 10,000 Maccabees.
en contra de 10,000 macabeos.
So 6-1.
Son 6 contra 1.
And the Maccabees won
Y los macabeos ganaron
and rededicated the temple,
y rededicaron el templo,
the one that Yeshua walked in.
el que Yeshua caminó.
So there is power in following Yeshua,
So hay poder en seguir a Yeshua.
but if you're not doing what he did,
Pero
really
si-
are you following?
Si no estás haciendo lo que él hizo, en verdad estás siguiendo.
Okay? So if you're not doing what he did, are you really a lover or a luster after Yeshua?
So, si en verdad no estás haciendo lo que él hizo, ¿eres amante o está en lujuria de
Paul writes,
Yeshua?
I'm to bring a pure, spotless bride to Messiah.
Pablo escribe que tengo que entregarle una novia sin mancha y sin arruga a Yeshua.
How would one be pure and spotless? What would the criteria
¿Cómo
be?
va a ser uno, va a presentarse sin mancha y sin arruga? ¿Cuál es el criterio?
6, 1, 3.
613.
That would be what you need to do.
Eso es lo que necesitas hacer.
Now, things are going to happen
Las cosas van a suceder
because God said so,
porque Dios dijo.
but they don't have to happen in our
Pero no
time.
tienes que suceder en nuestro tiempo.
There's a time and a season for
Hay
everything.
un tiempo y una estación para todo.
Israel had to be dispersed,
Israel tuvo que ser dispersado.
and that's when Kepha and most of the people die, except for John.
Y eso fue cuando Kefa y la mayoría de los discípulos murieron, excepto Juan.
When?
¿Ellos murieron cuándo?
Thomas dies a lot later
Tomás muere mucho después,
because I was near where he died in India.
porque yo estaba... I thought that was Matthew.
No, Thomas directly goes to India.
Oh, Tomás va directamente a India.
A lot of the other guys go all over the place, but why don't we close and
Vamos
we can
cerrando.
keep talking.
Podemos seguir hablando.
Thank you, Lord, for your blessings today. Thank you, Lord, for exhilarating conversation. Thank you, Lord, for your word. May it be a lamp unto our feet. In your name, Yeshua. Amen.
Shalom, this is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman. I would personally like to thank you for tuning in to the Remnant's Call each and every week. You can listen to the full message on our website, bethgoyim.org. If you have drawn closer to the King of Kings, learned more about Him today, we are blessed. If you are blessed by these messages, please consider a donation to our ministry. You can go to our website, bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. And click on the donate button. You do not have to have a PayPal account to donate. All you need is a debit card. Once again, thank you very much for listening to The Remnant's Call.
If you have not taken your first steps to be born again, just ask God's help. Remember, it's His loving grace that has come to find you. No one is worthy or able to reach God, but God can reach us, and He's reaching out to you now. Just open your heart and let Him in. His arms are open, and the blessing of salvation and eternal life are waiting for you. Don't let it wait any longer.
Ya Adonai, panavoleka, vikuneka, Yisa Adonai, panavoleka, vayasem laka, shalom. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord lift His face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious unto you and give you His shalom.
Shalom. My name is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman, and I invite you to come to visit our congregation. If you are in the tri-state area, come out and visit with us on Shabbat. We are a congregation of Jews and Gentiles, living as one in the Messiah Yeshua. BGMC is a place of true worship. The focus never wanders from the Hebraic roots of our faith.
Beth Goyim is rooted in the Word of God from Bereshit through to the book of Revelation. Messiah's strong words against man-made tradition are carefully recorded in Matthew 7. That is the reason we only follow the straight-up instructions found in Scripture, truly the way, the truth, and the life. If you're looking for a deeper walk with Adonai, come out for our Tuesday evening Bible study called Messianic Torah Time. Come, spend the day with us on any Shabbat. We start at 11 a.m. with the sound of the ancient Hebrew shofar. Next, we offer our King praise and worship in English, Hebrew, and Spanish. After worship, we review the headlines in the previous week's news from around the globe, especially news from the Holy Land, Israel. We don't just list the news headlines as current events, but we comb through the scriptures, searching for clues to understand what they mean and then to help pinpoint prophetically our current position on Adonai's clock. After digesting all that modern information, we leave the world behind as we journey with our Adonai deep into his eternal word, not with just 1 or 2 scriptures, but usually 7 or more scriptures. The spiritual nourishment and the richness of his kingdom become accessible to the ones who share this special time and seek them out. The day does not end there. Because Shabbat is so special to him, there is always so much more that our King desires to share. So instead of separating and leaving, we stay together as a family for potluck lunch and an afternoon study of our King's Word. We close the Shabbat together with the reading of the new week's parashah. That's the Torah portion. Even after those blessings, many of us just can't get enough. So the members bring prepared homemade foods to share while we all enjoy an uplifting movie together. If all that information is not quite enough, you can check out our website where you will find over 200 video teachings and biblical holy day studies. Under Messianic Torah Time, the Hebrew Roots button, you'll discover free studies on many, many different topics, including PowerPoint slide presentations. If Beth Goyim sounds like a place you'd love to visit, but you live outside the tri-state area, there is still a way to connect with us. We stream live on the internet on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat. The website is www.bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. Our phone number is 973-338-7800 or 978-2-YESHUA. That's 978, the number 2, Yeshua. Shalom.